Super Bowl, and there was the ceremony for the Browns' new stadium. He was there. He spoke about it, and he talked about the stadium being suitable, but that maybe the hotels could have been a little bit of an issue. We've seen, obviously, the Super Bowl be in cold weather cities before. Is Cleveland a viable option to host the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's a viable option. Now, what he was pointing out was there might not be enough hotel rooms, which he's already planting the seed for why it won't happen if they build a new stadium. The question becomes, is there enough infrastructure built to be able to have a Super Bowl? It'd be awesome.
Two pros, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and a cup of Jonas Knox. 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
You're listening to IronPigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM, 12:30 a.m., and streaming at lvfoxsports.com.
Wrapping up the Lehigh Valley IronPigs pregame show, Sam Jelinek here with you from the Cyan Sky broadcast booth as the IronPigs and the Buffalo Bisons play Game 5 of 6 here this week. And we have a late change to bring to you here as Alan Ronhell has been scratched for the IronPigs. He was the probable leading all week up to today as... for reasons unbeknownst to us, Ronhell has been scratched, and it's going to be Andrew Walling to get the ball today for the IronPigs and start in what's ostensibly now become basically a bullpen game for the Pigs. So take that for what it's worth. Obviously, the Phillies starting staff as well as bullpen has been taxed pretty good of late, and my guess would be that Ronhell, not an imminent call-up by any stretch of the imagination, but depending on how things go today for the Phillies with a rainout and potential doubleheader tomorrow. They did move their game up due to rain, so hopefully they'll be able to get their game in, but I think they're playing it safe in that, if they need Ronhell, they don't want to burn him tonight pitching for the IronPigs. So Andrew Walling gets the ball for the IronPigs, trying to pitch them to a 3-2 series lead here. IronPigs at 19-18 on the season. Buffalo 17-20. Pigs a shutout win last night, spearheaded by our pregame guest Tucker Davidson. Is Tucker with 6 shutout innings, while the IronPigs now at 19-18 on the season, and the Bisons falling to 17-20. IronPigs now with a series split in the offing at 2 games apiece. Let's get you the starting lineups now, brought to you by PSECU. PSECU remembers Achieve More for the Buffalo Bisons and their manager, Casey Candale. It'll be Ismael Munkia to lead things off. He's in center field, batting second, DHing Jonathan Clase. Batting third, Josh Kasevich will play third base. Batting fourth, Charles McAdoo. He's over at first base. RJ Schreck in left field hits fifth. Riley Tirada in right field is in the sixth spot. Josh Rivera, the shortstop, hits seventh. Carlos Mendoza, the second baseman, hits eighth. And batting ninth, Will Simonite will do the catching for the Bisons with C.J. Van Eyck on the mound for Buffalo. Van Eyck 1-1 with a 3.54 ERA this season. Flip side of the card for the IronPigs, it's going to be Stuart Baroa to lead things off. He's in center field. Batting second, Christian Cairo. He's at third base. Otto Kemp in left field hits third. Carter Keyboom at first base is in the cleanup spot. Ryan Daly Cruz DHs, bats fifth. Leover Piguero, second base, is in the sixth spot. Caleb Ricketts will catch, bats seventh. Hitting eighth, Oscar Mercado. He's in right field. And Sergio Alcantara is the shortstop, batting ninth, with Andrew Walling on the mound today for the IronPigs, getting the spot start to kick off a bullpen game for the Pigs after Alan Ronhell, a very, very late scratch here for the IronPigs. So those are starting lineups brought to you by PSECU. PSECU remembers Achieve More. It's a beautiful day for baseball. It'll be just about, what's the temperature at the moment? 59 degrees at first pitch, but completely clear skies overhead. Field is bathed in sunshine as it had rained all day, but now has parted the clouds up above, and it is going to be a gorgeous night for a ball game here on Star Wars Night, the ubiquitous yearly Star Wars night that has become a staple of the minor league calendar. The IronPigs just missing out on it on May the 4th. Instead, we'll settle for May the 9th. So, Andrew Walling out to the mound for the IronPigs, leads the starting 9 on out there, which means it's time for the national anthem, brought to you by Allied Personnel Services. Ready to step up to the plate with your job search? Hit a home run with the best jobs, best companies, and best pay in the Valley when you team up with Allied Personnel Services from Lehigh Valley's hiring experts for over 40 years. Visit AlliedPS.com today to see all of the great jobs available. We'll go ahead, take one final break, and when we come back, it'll be time for first pitch. It's the Iron Pigs and the Buffalo Bisons. Game 5 of this series is coming up next here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
You're listening to Iron Pigs Baseball on the Iron Pigs Radio Network.
And Fergus swings. It's a high drive deep center. Credit going back to the track at the wall. Cade Fergus. He wins it. It's Fergalicious.
Iron Pigs Baseball is brought to you by Air Products, Bisons, Capital Blue Cross, coca-cola, Sign and Sky Copiers.
Castro swings and shoots. Deep down the line. It's gone.
Eastern Lift Truck Company, Good Shepherd Rehabilitation, Milton Garden Inn, and Staybridge Suites.
The one pitch for Tony swings and blasts it. Deep right center. He's staring. He's watching. It's gone. 3-run no-doubter for Pittsburgh opponents.
They're the Pack, Lehigh Valley Health Network, Home Insurance, Quick Walk Loan.
Center swings, drives in the air towards left. Falling fast. Reyes hustling in into a slide. Did he pick it? He did. Sliding catch. Felix Reyes. Get on your horse.
Riverview Country Club, Robertson Insurance, Service Electric, St. Louis Health Network, TD Bank, Morning Call, and WFMZ 69 News.
The 3-2 pitch. Anthony swings. It's a long drive deep right. Taylor goes back into the track. It's off the wall. Coming to score on Antigua. Wilson behind him. Anthony wins it.
Now, let's go live to the Cyan Sky broadcast booth with the voice of the Iron Pigs.
On a gorgeous Saturday evening for baseball here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, we're at Coca-Cola Park, where it is time for Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs baseball. Hi, everybody. Sam Jelnick with you here from the Cyan Sky broadcast booth. Iron Pigs and Buffalo Bisons ready for Game 5 of their 6-game series, as it is a surprise for the Pigs on the mound today, as Andrew Walding will pitch in place of Alan Ronhell. Ronhell, a late scratch for the Iron Pigs. As far as we're aware, not injury related. Would have to assume it has something to do with the Phillies potentially needing an arm after the bullpen being taxed the past couple of nights with the blowout to the Rockies, or rather the blowout to the A's, and then the 11-inning game last night with the Rockies. Potential rain on the way in South Philly tonight as well. Could potentially throw a doubleheader into the mix tomorrow. Makes Ronhell a necessity potentially for the Pigs, or rather the Phillies come tomorrow. He comes at the Pigs' expense, as he's been their best starting pitcher this season, and was hopefully going to be pitching them to a series lead here tonight. That's not to be. Andrew Walding will kick off the game for the Pigs instead of the mound as an opener here, as the bullpen will try to piece it together after him. Walding making his first start of the year, making his 11th appearance overall, 0-1 with a 9 even ERA, 9 innings, 13 strikeouts, 12 walks, giving up 12 hits, 6'2", 220-pound lefty. Gets the ball for the Pigs, and this is the defense to start out behind him. It's Otto Kemp in left, Stuart Peroa in center, Oscar Mercado in right, Christian Cairo's at third base, Sergio Alcantara over at shortstop, Leover Figueroa's at second, Carter Kieboom at first, and Caleb Ricketts does the catching. Mentioned it end of the pregame show. It's a gorgeous day for baseball. 59 degrees here as we approach first pitch. Not too many clouds in the sky up above. Lights already turning on. Shadows will cover home plate and the mound to begin before waning all the way out to cover the entire diamond. And the Iron Pigs here on Star Wars night wear their Star Wars jerseys, which are available for auction. Want more info on that? Go to ironpigsbaseball.com. So Walding wearing the Star Wars jersey today for the Pigs. They go with the Evil Empire instead of what's typically, want to fight on the side of the good guys. But today they wear the Darth Vader jerseys, red jersey with black on it, and Darth Vader on the front of it overlooking the Iron Pigs work mark. The Bisons wear their alternate blues here on the road, blue jersey, gray pants. Buffalo coming off of a shutout loss yesterday. The Iron Pigs combining between Tucker Davidson, Jonathan Hernandez, and Nolan Hoffman for the 5-hit shutout. So Munguia into the box to lead things off. Ismael Munguia hitting .345 for the Bisons. Walling the lefty, set on the first base side, stretches and deals the first pitch of the game. And it's a fastball on the inside corner, and we're underway. Couple minutes late. 6:38 first pitch. Game time temp, 59 degrees. Cairo in on the grass at third. Munguia, open stance from the left side, 0-1. Fastball pops the mitt, sinker, inside corner. Called a strike, 0-2. Walling as a southpaw will use a sinker, a cutter, and a sweeper. Does have a four-seam fastball, but will use that a bit more sparingly. It's the second appearance for him this week. He actually picked up his first save of the season back on Tuesday. 0-2. Sweeper down the dirt. Came on and got the final 2 outs of the game in the 9th on Tuesday morning. Faced 3 hitters, gave up 1 hit, struck out 2. Long red sleeves under his jersey, set at the belt, kicks the leg high, is 1-2. Slider down and away. Trickles all the way to the backstop off of a Ricketts mitt. 2-2. Walling leaning in for the side, dangles the left arm away from the body. Ball in his bare hand, now to the set. Break even on the way to Munguia. Slider down and away, and Munguia, that stayed on his shoulder, has worked the count full here. First 2 in the zone, next 3 outs. 3-2 on Munguia to begin the game. Walling kicks, delivers, swing and a miss. Munguia's first swing comes up empty. Chased what would have been ball 4 down and in. And Walling starts off the game with a strikeout. So the Pigs, who were already thin on pitching to begin this week, it is going to be, well, a Herculean effort of the entire bullpen today to try to stitch this together. They do have a little bit of a ringer in the bullpen, and Zach Pop is beginning a Major League rehab assignment today with the Iron Pigs, but I can't imagine he's slated to go more than an inning today. First pitch to Jonathan Clase, switch hitter batting right. And the sliders on the inside corner, 0-1. So, you have 1 inning covered with that. Walling to begin, and then, yesterday was just Hernandez and Hoffman out of the bullpen, so guys are fresh. 0-1. Clase takes a fastball, 96. That's got to be the hardest pitch that Walling's thrown this season. It sizzles straight down the middle. 0-2 quickly on Clase. Clase DHing today, hitting 143. Just off the IL earlier this week. 1 homer, 6 RBIs, 0-2. Clase out in front, dribbles it foul towards the Pigs' dugout. Still 0-2. Activated back on Tuesday morning, Clase has played now 12 games this year. Played 7 innings in the field last night, got 3 at-bats, 0 for 3. 0-2 again. Clase, a high chopper, left side, out toward short, charging, coming in, Alcantara gloves, throws to first, it's late, and it pulled Keyboom off the bag. Would have been bang-bang at first, and Alcantara, trying to get rid of it quickly, pulls Keyboom off the base. Yeah, and a good throw gets him. It's going to be an E6 on Alcantara there. High hopper out to short. Alcantara did as much as he can coming in for it, but need to be just a little bit quicker and a little bit more on target over to first. So Alcantara, another error this week. That's his second. First pitch on the way to Josh Kasevich. It's a fastball. Outer half, 0-1. Kasevich hitting .272, 1 homer. He's driven in 11. Clase leaning at first, 0-1. Kasevich fouls it back. For Alcantara, that's now his 8th error of the season. Had a throwing error earlier this weekend. The majority of them are throwing errors. He's had a couple of them on some double play turns at second. That one just cutting across the middle of the diamonds. 0-2 on Kasevich. Right-handed hitter, Walling from the belt, fires. Kasevich bounces it foul. down the third base side. Still 0-2. Two on Kasevich. Clase leads at first. Infield plays the ready to pull. Throw over to first. Clase's taken off. Throw from Keyboom to second is in time. Peguero barely hangs onto the baseball, nearly snow cone down to his glove, but he holds the tag on Clase. Walling picks him off, and the error ends up being a moot point. Good job by Walling, keeping good tabs on Clase there. So 2 outs, 2 strikes on Kasevich. Walling now trying to double down in the inning. Face the minimum here. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Foul tip. Held on to by Ricketts and Andrew Walling. Starting the game off with style. A pickoff and a pair of strikeouts for a scoreless top of the first. Go to the bottom of the first. It's the Bisons nothing and the Iron Pigs coming to bat. Here are the Pigs, a radio network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
This is the season to finally make it happen at Ashley's Spring Savings Event. Discover mattresses for every type of sleeper with no interest for 5 years when you buy in store. That's top heading brand starting at only $37 a month. And you can elevate your sleep for less. With Ashley Sleep adjustable base sets, now $600 off. The sleep you've been dreaming of is finally within reach. Make it happen today at Ashley's Spring Savings Event. Shop more spring mattress deals in store or at ashley.com.
Is gas putting a dent in your budget? Fox Sports Radio 94.7 FM and 12:30 AM wants to help. It's time to fuel up with Fox Sports Radio. This is your chance to win free gas 3 times every weekday. Listen just before 8 a.m., noon, and 5 p.m. for the keyword. And text it to 610-890-0707 to get in the running for a $250 gas card. Time to fuel up with Fox Sports Radio. Sponsored by Chesaco RV. The Chesaco RV Show is May 8th through the 17th at Cabela's Hamburg. Live to camp. Chesaco RV. You're listening to Iron Pigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio 94.7 FM, 12:30 AM, and streaming at lbfoxsports.com.
Bottom of the first, it's the Buffalo Bisons nothing and the Iron Pigs coming to bat against C.J. Van Eyck on the mound for the Bisons. Getting the start here. Van Eyck off to a pretty solid start this year. He is 1-1 with a 3.54 ERA. He gets the ball for the Bisons, and this is the defense that takes shape behind him. It's R.J. Schreck in left, Ismael Munguia in center. Bradley Terradas in right field, Josh Kasevich at third base, Josh Rivera at shortstop, Carlos Mendoza at first, Charles McAdoo at first base, and William Simonite does the catching, with Van Eyck on the mound. Stuart Baroa in to lead things off. Switch hitter will bat left. Van Eyck, first base side of the mound, spins and fires. First pitch is fouled back. 0-1. Van Eyck, 6'1", 198-pound righty. Out of Tampa, Florida, went to George N. Steinbrenner High School. Winds and deals, 0-1. Baroa check swing. No, now we'll appeal to third, and Derek Pacheco says he held up. 1-1. Van Eyck was a second-round pick of the Blue Jays in 2020 out of Florida State. 7th start of the year here today, 1-1. This is up high with a fastball. 28 innings for him, 23 strikeouts, 9 walks, has given up 32 hits. Working quick, 2-1. Baroa lays off another high fastball. Pitch mix for Van Eyck. It'll be curveball, four-seamer, cutter, changeup, sinker, sweeper, and slider. Although the sinker, sweeper, slider all under 10%. 3-1 coming. Baroa swings and misses. Cutter got in on the hands, whiffs on it. Curveball actually ends up being the predominant pitch for Van Eyck. It's about a 25% split between each of curveball, four-seam, and cutter. And then 25% for the rest. 3-2. Fastball just above the belt. It's ball 4, and Baroa draws the leadoff walk. Seemed like a bit more of a hold-your-breath take for Baroa than the kind of confidence he just gave off taking that pitch. And as he takes off all of his gear towards the third base dugout, receives his sliding mitts, and then sprints down the first base line to first, not to hold anybody up. Brings up Christian Cairo with a man at first, and Baroa now putting on the sliding mitts, Still holding on to them as he takes off on the first pitch home. A called strike, throw down to second is late. And Mendoza at second can't believe it. And we'll see if Cairo's going to challenge the strike call here. And no, he's not. I think maybe Jashinsky is saying that he ended up showing bunts. And looking at the tag there from Mendoza, I think what he might be miffed about is that Baroa didn't have his sliding mitt all the way on. And that it was that mitt, 0-1, Cairo squares the bunt, breaking ball freezes him, it's in for strike, 0-2, and it was the tip of Baroa's sliding mitt, which wasn't fully on his hand yet, that got the base first. But as we've seen in limited anecdotes when that happens, umpires tend to give the benefit of the doubt to the player that, that is their hand inside of it touching the base. 0-2 on Cairo, shown bunt twice, swings the 0-2 instead, pops it up. Behind first, backpedaling McAdoo onto the outfield grass, and he makes the catch. 1 out. Baroa still out at second. And I'm still not sure what Baroa is chewing on in his mouth. It kind of looked like his thumb guard. For some reason, still had that on. And he still doesn't even have his oven mitts all the way on here. He's still fiddling around with the strap. So a runner at second, 1 out. Batter is Otto Kemp. Throw back to second, and Baroa, feet first slide, does get back ahead of the throw. Kind of ugly there, but Baroa made it work. Otto hitting .283 now in the season, 3 homers and 19 RBIs. 11 of those coming this week. Baroa edging from second, bluffs as the pitch comes home, and it's a breaking ball outside. I'm surprised Van Eyck didn't throw back to second because Mendoza was there to cover, and he would have had Baroa picked off by a mile. Stewart's got to be careful here. Bisons are keeping a pretty tight eye on him. Look back at second, the pitch. Kemp fouls it back. Got a good cutter to hit. Otto wearing the high Phillies Red Sox, complimenting the red get-up today for the Pigs wearing the Darth Vader jerseys. And not going to lie, Otto, they've mocked up his headshot for him to look like he is a part of the dark side. He's got the robe on and all that. 1-1. Curveball down low. Ball 2. It fits him pretty well. He's smiling in his headshot, but I don't know. There's something very Anakin Skywalker about it. Two and 1 on Kemp. Baroa held tight at second by Mendoza. The pitch from Van Eyck. Otto off the hands, lines it foul. Right field side into some seats. 2-2. No score, bottom of the first. Bisons have a runner picked off. IronPigs with Baroa out at second. 1 out. Otto Kemp leads the league in RBIs this week. 2-2. Out in front of a breaking ball, just gets a piece of it. Back to the backstop. Still 2-2. IronPigs coming in now a game back over 500. Bisons trying to fight their way back to the 500 mark. It's been a good start to the IL season here, standings-wise. 2-2. Change up, just fades up and in on Kemp. Could take. Where even with the IronPigs playing just around 500 baseball, they haven't fallen out of things. Typically, with a 20-team league and division like it is, somebody runs away with things pretty early, separates. Payoff pitch. Kemp drives in the air down the right field line, slicing towards the corner. That's going to get over the protective netting and into the seats again. Still 3-2. But Memphis, who currently leads the IL, is at 24-13. A good start, but not some of the absolute heaters we've seen some teams go on to begin seasons at the just shy of the 40-game mark. 3-2, Otto reaching for the breaking ball, able to roll it foul down the third base line this time. Stays alive here. Good battle here between Otto Kemp and C.J. Van Eyck. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up next. Van Eyck, who works very expeditiously on the mound. Does not waste any time. Comes set on the first base side. Hands just above the belt. Kicks, delivers. Called strike 3. Kemp looking for off speed again, and Van Eyck with a sinker in the outside corner. Freezes him. First strikeout of the game for Van Eyck is a backwards K of Kemp. 2 outs, brings up Carter Keyboom back in the lineup today after a day off last night. Carter has been the Iron Pigs' hottest hitter for better part of a month, hitting about .333 during that stretch. He's had .318 on the season, 2 homers. He's driven in 10. Baroa at second, inside move by Van Eyck, just chases him back. Van Eyck back towing the rubber, now to the plate. Misses with a breaking ball outside to Keyboom. 1 ball, no strikes. Van Eyck throwing for the first time since May the 2nd, up in Moosic against Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Completed 5 innings. Was a no decision, though. 2 runs, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Look back at second. 1 ball pitch. Keyboom swings and misses. Chased the slider down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Van Eyck's been very consistent so far this year. He hasn't allowed more than 4 runs in any start. And for the most part, 5 of his 6 outings, he has allowed 3 runs or fewer. 1-1, fastball pops the mitt, there at the knees with a sinker. 1-2. 2 outs, bottom of the first, scoreless for the moment. Iron Pigs have scored in the first each the past 2 nights. Keyboom trying to come through here. 1-2, off the hands, fouled back over the screen, up towards the suites. New baseball for Van Eyck out on the mounds. Tosses one away, gets a pearl out the bump. Keyboom back into the box, cherry red bat, and before the next 1-2, Keyboom calls time and steps out. One and 2 on Carter Keyboom. Baroa leading from second. Mendoza backs away from the bag. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Pulled the string on a good changeup, and C.J. Van Eyck with back-to-back strikeouts shreds a runner out at second, and the Pigs turned away here in the first. We go to the second, scoreless after 1 here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
The scoreboard. Our hopes and dreams rest on the outcome, but it doesn't show the sacrifice it takes or the pain of accepting defeat. Because the real score isn't about points. It's about how many times you come back from impossible odds. And for all the moments that matter. The name trusted for over 80 years and accepted by top doctors and specialists. Capital Blue Cross. Live fearless.
Why does it always say paper jam when there's no paper jam?
Hi there.
Who are you, and why are you in our office space?
I'm Cy, your friendly copier helper guy. There you go. You're all set.
Whoa, Cy, that was awesome.
Thanks. Better service is on the horizon with Science Sky Copier. Science Sky service. They hit it out of the park. If you can help with your office copiers and printers, call Science Sky today or find them at scienceskycopiers.com.
Hi, IronPigs fans. I'm Linda Gordon. I work in human resources at Air Products. I live in Basswood, Pennsylvania, and I'm proud to support MDA.
Air Products, working here.
Hi, Iron Pigs fans. I'm Nick Mitica. I work in hydrogen energy systems at Air Products. I live in Zionsville, and I'm proud to support the community bike work.
Air Products, working here, living here, giving here.
You're listening to the Iron Pigs Radio Network.
Top of the second, scoreless game after 1 here between the Iron Pigs and the Buffalo Bisons. Both teams getting a man aboard, but doing nothing with it. Andrew Walling, who is getting the spot start today for the Pigs with Alan Ronhell, a very late scratch, delivers home to Charles McAdoo and lines it right by the on-deck hitter, RJ Schreck, who barely flinched. Thing was screaming at him and paid no mind. So 0-1 on McAdoo. Walling faced 3 hitters in the first, struck out 2 of them. 0-1, sinker misses outside, 1-1. Johnston Classe reached on an error, but Walling then picked him off. McAdoo hitting .286, 6 homers, has driven in 19. Right-handed hitter, Walling the stretch, kicks, delivers, swing and a miss. Chased down and in, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The reporting up in Philadelphia that Bryce Harper left the Phillies game with a migraine. Felix Reyes pinch hitting for him. So I have no clue if maybe Bryce Harper and Alan Ronhell are somehow long-lost twins. 1-2 is up and away. 2-2 with some twin telepathy. Both came down with a migraine at the same time. The better guess as to why Ronhell was scratched today is the Phillies just preserving pitching just in case. 2-2. McAdoo fights it off. Fouled back over the screen. Rifling towards the seats. Ronhell's really been the guy this season when the Phillies need to cover some innings, spot start, bulk out of the bullpen. He's going to be the guy called up for that. 2-2. McAdoo out in front of the slider this time, turns on it, but that's going to hook foul into the picnic patio, where it pinballs around, going by a couple of folks, and finally ending up back on the warning track and left. We give Otto Kemp a little bit of cleanup duty now. So he tosses it back into the crowd. Hopefully it'll stay there this time. It does. Two and two on Charles McAdoo to begin the second. Walling, southpaw, slings it, and sinker down and away. 3-2. The surprising thing for Harper dealing with the migraine, I don't say surprising is the right word, but curious thing is that, A, he started the game, so, don't know when he was dealing with it. 3-2, McAdoo swipes it foul to the backstop. When he was actually dealing with it, if he tried to play through it, started the game and then had to come out. On top of that, he is now the third Phillies player this year to have dealt with a migraine. Andrew Painter, Justin Crawford, and now Bryce Harper. Full count on Charles McAdoo beginning the second. Walling the set, payoff again. Fastball called strike 3. Inside corner, he freezes McAdoo. Third strikeout for Walling out of the bullpen. Or I say out of the bullpen, technically, here as an opener. This is definitely the best that Walling has looked here this season. Numbers can fiddle with the truth a little bit. It's not as clear-cut as Walling coming in with a 9 ERA this season. Fires the first pitch sinker down and in on R.J. Schreck. 1 ball, no strikes. At times, Walling has looked very good, and at times he has not been able to find the strike zone enough. It's very rarely been times in between. 1-0. Finds the strike zone that time with the sinker chiseling the inside black. 1 ball, 1 strike. Schreck in left field today. 4 homers, has driven in 21 this season. Hitting a .198. 1-1, slider down and away. 2 balls and a strike. And for Walling, a lot of it as the lefty out of the bullpen comes down to how often he can spin that slider for strikes and get swings and misses on. A pitch that looks like a strike to begin and then ends up out of the strike zone. 2-1. Slider broke his bat, but Schreck a line drive into right. That's a base hit. As Walling able to blow him up a little bit, but Schreck, who has been swinging an audaciously hot bat this week, able to yank it into right for the first of the day for the Bisons. Runner at first, 1 out. Brings up Riley Toronto, Schreck at first. Lenny Torres has stood up out in the Pigs bullpen. First 1-2 Toronto. This is up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. He'll be the next man up through an inning in the third back on Tuesday morning. No score, top of the second. Toronto hitting, 207 on the season, 4 homers. He's driven in 13. 1-0 pitch. The righty swings through it. Fastball blew by him. 1-1. For Toronto's headshot, they've gone ahead and replaced him with Jar Jar Binks, which is a phenomenal time for me to plug the theory that Jar Jar was actually a member of the dark side. It was a secret Sith Lord. Toronto calls time, steps out of the box. That it was really Jar Jar pulling the strings the entire time, and nobody knew it. Because how else could a bumbling fool like him have made it through and stayed alive for as long as he did? 1-1. This is outside. Ball 2. There's a really good documentaries doing a lot of heavy lifting, calling it this. A YouTube featurette, we'll call it. Talking about Jar Jar's use of the Force through some of the prequel movies. 2-1. Fastball way up and away. 3 balls, 1 strike. But it's definitely worth a whirl if you're into the world of Star Wars to broaden your horizons. 3-1 on Terada. Shrek at first, jumping a little. The 3-1 pitch. Terada takes. Fastball finds the inside corner as he lifts the arms out of the way of a cutter. 3-2. Walling now up to 32 pitches out of the bullpen. Walling set of the belt. Shrek leading from first. And a throw over to first. Shrek back to the bag standing. Walling's longest outing this year is actually an inning in the third. He's done that twice, so this is now the 3rd time he's gone this deep. Trying to push it a little further here. Shrek hit first. Full count on Terada. The 3-2 runner goes fastball up and away. Throw will go through down to second, but it's not going to matter here. And now Shrek is running back to first. He does not know that it is ball forward. Shrek will be given second base. Even though he ran back towards first, he is even in that scenario allowed to reach second base unimpeded. First and second, 1 out. First walk of the day issued by Walling, and we'll see if that gets Torres up and moving a little bit more out in the bullpen. Batters Josh Rivera, shortstop for the Bisons, hitting an even 200, 4 homers. He's driven in 20. 2 on, 1 out. Walling, first pitch. It's outside. And Caleb Ricketts immediately calls time, and he's going to make a trip out to the mound here. Jandal Farms, a proud sponsor of IronPigs baseball. Spanning 5 decades, the Jandal turkey has remained the gold standard for dependable quality, flavor, and value. Find Jandal turkey products at your local grocer today. So Walling throwing as many pitches and getting as many outs as he has at any point this season. Sees Ricketts back to his post behind the plate, and now Torres is fully throwing on the mound in the bullpen for the IronPigs. 1-0 to Rivera, and Walling misses again, a sinker down and away. Back up to 95 that time, though. Middle infield at double play depth. Rivera, who started last night, was 0 for 4 and grounded into a double play off of Davidson. 2-0 pitch. Fastball an inch or two below the knees, and Walling having trouble recalibrating to the strike zone. 3 balls, no strikes. First and second, 1 out. Walling a look to second, 3-0 pitch. Fastball gets the call. Top of the zone, outside corner. A little bit of a gift there from home plate umpire Steven Jashinsky. Barely did clip the zone. 3-1 on Rivera. Walling to the plate, and he misses outside this time, so ends up being a moot point. Ball 4. Second straight walk allowed by Walling here, and we'll see if that gets a visit from pitching coach Phil Kandari. Bases loaded, 1 out. And this is where you face some issues during bullpen games, is when just hang on a little bit too long because you got to try to milk all you can out of these guys. Batters Carlos Mendoza, the lefty, takes a fastball up and in. He bends back out of the way of it because, you're trying to piece this together with, at minimum, probably 5 or 6 arms, probably 7. So if you can get Walling to cover 2 innings to begin the game, you're in a far better spot. It's now at Pound throw his 40th pitch here, 1-0. Up high again, slider not close. When you start reaching and asking for a little bit too much, and now time called. And first baseman Carter Keyboom is going to come in, and is Walling dealing with an injury here. Manager Tank Adamson going out, trainer Keita Saji right beside him, as I didn't see precisely what it was that Walling pointed to after he threw that pitch. Let's take a look at the replay to see if there's... he slipped a little bit coming down the mound. You can see his plant foot. And yeah, Walling's going to have to come out of the game here. And it was when he went back to the top of the mound coming off after the pitch, he kind of said something to himself, didn't feel all too right. So we got a pitching change here for the Iron Pigs. The second time this week they have had to have a pitcher removed due to injury. Daniel Harper hit by a line drive earlier this week, and now Walling departs here after throwing a 1-0 pitch for a ball way high that looked like his plant foot gave out under him a little bit. But it was kind of still unclear, even after the replay, how he was feeling with that. So Lenny Torres, who had been in the bullpen for the Iron Pigs warming up, is going to come in to the game now and hopefully won't need the full allotment of time that any reliever gets, which is an infinite amount of time. So we'll go ahead, take a standard pitching change break here, and be back in 60 seconds, and hopefully Torres will be ready to go then. We're scoreless here in the top of the second as the Iron Pigs forced into a pitching change. Back in 60 seconds here in the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Joker has one more year with Denver, and then he has a player option after that. And then you wonder, and I do wonder this, when he gets to that last year player option, does he want to play elsewhere? Does he want to play, after that in the NBA? I mean, with him, it's a wild card. You're not quite sure. It's like he might just get up one day after a season and say, see ya, not coming back. He's a great player. MVP. He's going to, and I said he'll end up with one title. And I obviously still believe that. He's not winning the title this year. He's got the MVPs. He probably won't win another MVP. But he might look at this team and go, do I want to stay here? Now, he said, I want to be a Nugget for life. Okay. I mean, that's the right thing to say. You don't say, I don't know.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan, the Danettes, and you.
Weekdays 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
You're listening to the Iron Pigs Radio Network.
Still in the top of the second, Iron Pigs pressed into an early pitching change here as Lenny Torres replaces Andrew Walling, who departs due to injury, and middle at bat with Carlos Mendoza with the count 2-0. Walling was probably out of the game pretty shortly after. This is a season high in pitches for him. He departs after throwing a 1-0 pitch to Carlos Mendoza that missed and came up a little bit lame after it. So Walling is out, and Torres comes in here. And this is the rare instance where a pitcher, or rather a hitter, inherits a new pitcher in the middle of an at-bat. So it is a 2-0 count. Torres will be dealing to Carlos Mendoza as Torres makes his second appearance of the week. Torres, inning on a third for him back on Tuesday, gave up 4 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Most of that damage coming on a 3-run homer by Charles McAdoo. Torres had actually thrown a scoreless 8, looked really sharp. Pigs tried to stretch him out to cover 2 innings to finish out the game. Wasn't meant to be. So, take that line with a grain of salt. Torres, right-handed pitcher, 6'1", 190-pound righty. This will be his 5th appearance of the season. Joined the Iron Pigs back on April 21st. Works with a 4-seam fastball, sinker, and slider. The righty has Carlos Mendoza due up at the plate. The lefty has a 2-0 count on him. 216 hitter, no homers, has driven in 9. The bases are loaded, lest you forget. 1 out. Third baseman Kyra was in. Everybody else is back. Torres the kick, the pitch. Fastball just off the outside corner. Sinker fades off the plate. 3-0 here on Mendoza. Bases loaded, 1 out. 3-0 pitch. Fastball is up high. It's ball 4. That's going to force him to run. Iron Pigs have to deal with a bevy of bases loaded walks back on Wednesday. Walling gets charged with the base on balls because it was already a 2-0 count, and that run is also charged to him as well. And that also means that Mendoza is his base runner, so his line not yet final. Base is still loaded, 1 out. The batter is William Simonite, the catcher, batting 9. And Torres still trying to find the strike zone here. This is outside of the fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Simonite hitting .304, one homer, striven in 12. 1-0 pitch, slider down and away in the dirt, ball 2. The Iron Pigs gave up an 8 spot to the Bisons in the 5th inning on Thursday night with 4 bases loaded walks and 1 bases loaded hit by pitch. 2-0 coming. Simonite swinging away, fouls it back. That's the first strike for Torres out of the bullpen. I'm kind of surprised Simonite took a whack at it. It was going to be a strike, so he didn't expand the zone. But typically, your situation like that, you're going to at least try to see one over. Bases loaded, 1 out. Torres, the crossfire set, hucks it home. And a heater tails off the inside edge. Ball 2. Six pitches for Torres out of the bullpen, and 5 have missed. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the Simonite. Slider off the outside black. Looked pretty good, but Simonite was pretty certain that missed, and catcher Ricketts knew it too. It was low. Back-to-back bases loaded walks. Forces in another, and it's 2-0 Buffalo here in the top of the 2nd. Brings up Ismael Munguia. Munguia, the top of the order, struck out his first time up, and Torres' fastball gets away from him. This is up and away arm side, 97. 1 ball, no strikes, and I already feel the crowd a little antsy after every pitch that's missing here from Torres. Maybe a bit afraid of reliving what happened on Thursday. 1-0. Spins a breaking ball in the outside corner, and a Bronx cheer coming in from the crowd for the kid from Poughkeepsie. 1-1 Munguia. Infield plays the lefty to pull. Cairo in on the grass at third, tight to the bag. 1-1. Munguia, hard ground ball to second. Sliding stop, Piguero. Glove flip to second. 1. Over to first in time. What a turn by Leover Piguero. And he gets Torres out of the jam with no more damage. 4-6-3. And the Iron Pigs turn it. What a play by Piguero. We go to the last of the second. It's now 2-0 Buffalo here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
From the Phillipsburg Easton Honda Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio. Clinton Acura and Phillipsburg Easton Honda, 2 trusted names, 1 goal, 5-star customer service.
This is the season to finally make it happen at Ashley's Spring Savings Event. Discover mattresses for every type of sleeper with no interest for 5 years when you buy in store. That's top bedding frame starting at only $37 a month. Even you can elevate your sleep for less. With Ashley's Sleep Adjustable Base Bed, now $600 off. The sleep you've been dreaming of is finally within reach. Make it happen today at Ashley's Spring Savings Event. Shop more spring mattress deals in-store or at ashley.com.
The voice of Lehigh Valley sports fans is the Happy Hour. Weekdays at 4, presented by Ashley. From the local high schools and colleges to Penn State, Philly, New York, and the entire sports world. We cover it all with great guests, rankings, polls, and you. Call or text the show to voice your opinion at 610-890-0707. Don't miss the Lehigh Valley's only nightly sports talk show, The Happy Hour. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. Weekdays at 4 on Fox Sports Radio 94.7 FM, 12:30 AM, and streaming at lvfoxsports.com.
We're celebrating 25 years of covering Lehigh Valley sports. Moments like Nazareth Jahan Dotson being the number 16 overall pick for the 2022 NFL Draft by the Washington Commanders. Covering the biggest moments in Lehigh Valley sports for 25 years. This is Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM and 12:30 AM in Easton.
You're listening to Iron Pigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM, 12:30 AM, and streaming at lvfoxsports.com.
Bottom of the 2nd, Iron Pigs trail the Buffalo Bisons 2-0 as they get on the board first. The pair of bases loaded walks. First pitch from C.J. Van Eyck to Brian De La Cruz. This is down and away, 1 ball, no strikes, but all in all, damage could have been way worse against the Pigs because Leover Piguero makes a stunning play. 1-0 is swung on and missed by De La Cruz. Good cutter down and away from Van Eyck. 1-1 as He makes a diving backhand stop on a hard hit ground ball by Munguia. Going to his right, 1-1. Sweeper spun onto the inside corner, 1-2. He also, on top of how hard Munguia hit it, having to dive to his right, he had the second base umpire, Kellen Martin, jumping out of the way of it. 1-2, swing and a miss. Scott Daly Cruz out on his front foot, chasing a breaking ball down out of the zone. Third straight strikeout for Van Eyck. One gone here to be the second. So Peguero had to deal with so much on that, and then the glove flip to second to feed Alcantara, get the speedy Munguia over at first. Just best double play the IronPigs have turned this season. One out, bases empty, and here is the over Peguero. Takes the first pitch, cutter up and in on him. 1 ball, no strikes. IronPigs down 2-0. Bisons 2 runs, 1 hit. Pigs still searching for their first hit. 1-0, sweeper off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. A 2-0 pitch. Peguero takes on the outside corner. Two-one to the over. Fastball down and away by Van Eyck. Peguero hitting .257, no homers, has driven in 16. 12 doubles leads the team and is second in the International League. 3-1 coming. Breaking ball an inch or two off the inside corner, and Simonite, a little uncertain of whether to challenge that, was very slowly raising his hand up to his head. Ultimately decided against it. It's a good thing he did, because that pitch did, in fact, miss. Runner at first, 1 out. Caleb Ricketts is the hitter. Peguero's running the first pitch. Van Eyck misses up and away. Throw to second is not in time. It careens out of the glove of the shortstop Rivera over to third, where it's backed up by Kazovich. Stolen base for the over. Peguero, the Pigs think that they can run all over Simonite and Van Eyck out on the mound here. So a runner in scoring position, 1 out. Peroa was stranded out at second back in the first. Pigs trying to avoid the same fate for Peguero here. Ricketts out front of a changeup, swings and misses. 1-1. Caleb hitting .223, 4 homers. He's driven in 20. Left-handed hitter, Van Eyck to the plate. Ricketts waves away at another changeup. 1-2. Caleb ended up with a 2-hit game last night when he wasn't even supposed to be in the lineup. Carter Keyboom was getting the start at first, but got scratched, and Ricketts in his place ended up going 2 for 4. 1-2. Breaking ball called strike 3. Ricketts frozen. Good pitch by Van Eyck, down at the knees. 4th strikeout of the game already for Van Eyck. And it'll be up to Oscar Mercado with Peguero out at second base. Pigs struggling with runners in scoring position to begin the day. They're now 0 for 3. Mercado swings and misses, or actually got a piece of it, fouled it off the plate. 0-1. Oscar hitting 134, 1 homer. He's driven in 4. It's been a tough week and a half, nearly 2 weeks now for him. Hitless here on this homestand, was hitless 10 at-bats last week in Syracuse. So 0 for his last 17, which is about the coldest spell I've ever seen Oscar have here in his year plus with the IronPigs. Readjusts his batting gloves, back into the box. Pigs down 2-0, bottom of the second. Still searching for their first hit. Van Eyck delivers, Mercado takes, sweeper down the middle. 0-2. Nobody up in the IronPigs bullpen, naturally, as Lenny Torres, who finished out the second for Andrew Walding, will stick around for the third in what's a bullpen game for the IronPigs. Inside move to second, that chases Peguero back. Oh, 0-2 on Mercado. Sergio Alcantara on deck. 0-2. Mercado just gets a piece of it, grounds it to the backstop. Van Eyck 4 strikeouts already today. His season high is 6, and that was done his last start. 0-2 on Mercado. Van Eyck to the plate, and Oscar rips it on the ground. That goes foul. Down the third base side, a little out in front. Mercado has seen Van Eyck before. There's 5 at-bats against him, 2 hits. Outfield straight away on Oscar. Infield straight up. Peguero not being held out at second. Van Eyck, no look. Now comes home. Called strike 3. Fastball outside corner. Mercado caught looking and getting over. Van Eyck strikes out 3 as he strands Peguero out at second. We go to the third. It's 2-0 Buffalo here on the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
So much to love on this ride. That's why they
That to-do list you have needs one thing. Chips. Yeah, you know. Watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Whatever you do, your food is like non-core refreshment. Made to chill. 2020 Coolers Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Score update presented by Ashley. In the bottom of the third inning of the Major Leagues, Phillies lead the Rockies 4-1 at home. Here in the International League, Iowa all over Columbus. Late stages that one 12-5. Cubs lead bottom of the 8th. Still scoreless between Omaha and Indianapolis, bottom 6 there. Scoreless in the bottom of the 4th between Charlotte and Jacksonville. Bud ends leading Memphis 6-2 in the top of the 4th. Toledo leading there. All Gwinnett early 6-0 over Norfolk at the top of the 3rd. Durham trailing Round Rock 3-0, bottom of the 2nd. Early 2-0 lead for Nashville over Louisville, top of the 1st. That one. Still to come tonight at 10:05. St. Paul meets Las Vegas, while the back end of a doubleheader between Omaha and Indianapolis. Rochester down Syracuse today 7-4. Meanwhile, Worcester and Wilkes-Barre were postponed due to rain. Pigs show the Bisons early 2-0 after 2. We send things back over to Sam Jolick for the top of the 3rd at Coca-Cola Park.
Thank you, Jack. Like you said, Iron Pigs trailing the Bisons 2-0 after 2 innings of play. Top of the 3rd. And the Bisons will have 2, 3, and 4 due up against Lenny Torres back out there for the Iron Pigs. Andrew Walling done after an inning in the 3rd. Bullpen game for the Pigs today, necessitated by a late Alan Ronhell scratch. And then on top of that, Walling departs with an injury after an inning in the 3rd. So Torres does give up a pair. Charged both of those to Walling, though. First pitch fastball to Clase. This is down and in on him. 1 ball, no strikes. So Walling's final line, an inning in a 3rd, 2 runs, 1 hit, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. 1-0 on Clase, reached on an error his first time up. Switch hitter batting left, cranks it high in the air, deep down the right field line. Mercado giving chase towards the side wall, and in the corner, it's a fair ball as it kicks off the base of the fence and rolls all the way up the right field line. Clase on his way to 3rd, as Peguero at 2nd will be the one to pick it up. And Clase standing at 3rd will stop there with a leadoff triple. Into the unseen corner down the right field line. You lose vision of the outfielder and the ball as they go into the right field corner here at Coca-Cola Park. This angle gives it a really good look. Mercado up against the fence, just got a little bit close to it, trying to make the catch, staring up into the sun. It banged off the fence, came rolling down the line. Clase, an easy triple. Man at 3rd. Nobody out. Batters Josh Kasevich. Torres first pitch. Rifles a fastball down the middle. 0-1. Kasevich struck out swinging his first time up. That was against Andrew Walling. Infield comes in for the Iron Pigs. Very aggressive. Torres a crossfire set. First base side. His strike 1 pitch. Fastball nearly to the same spot. This time a little closer to the outside black. 0-2. Kasevich hitting .270, 1 homer. He's driven in 11. So far in this series, he's 5 for 18 with a triple. Right-handed hitter, Torres, red glove, black laces, set of the belt, 0-2. Fastball at 96, yanked down and away. It's been a long road trip for the Bisons. Dropped 4-6 to Scranton Wilkes-Barre last week. Now wrapping up their 12-game road trip here at the final 2 in Allentown. 1-2 pitch. Kazovic, a ground ball to third by a diving Cairo and by the diving Alcantara as well. And into left for a base hit right in between the two. So it skitters into left, coming up to score Class A. It's an RBI single, Josh Kazovic, his 12th RBI of the season. And the Bisons now lead it 3-0 here in the third inning. Didn't look like Class A was running on contact, so if Cairo Alcantara comes up with that, maybe they keep the run from scoring, but it's too much topspin on that one. RBI single for Kazovic. He's at first. Still nobody out. Batters Charles McAdoo. Torres delivers a slider, and McAdoo fouls it off. Yesterday, the IronPigs and Jonathan Hernandez gave up a leadoff triple in the 7th, and Hernandez then struck out the next 3 hitters. Torres, not as much luck here. 0-1. McAdoo, a big swing. Fouls it back. 0-2. Middle infield at double play depth. McAdoo 0 for 1 today with a punch out. Kazovic leads at first. Keyboom holds him on. Torres the kick. 0-2. Fastball a little bit high. 1-2. McAdoo crowded the plate. Closed off stance. Elbow hangs out over the inside corner. Ricketts sets up down to the way. The 1-2 slider hits the spot, but McAdoo not chasing it. 2-2. Slider, a hair off the outside corner. That's a great take by McAdoo. Either he gave up on that immediately, or kind of tracked out of the hands. So from 0-2 to 3-2 on Charles McAdoo. Kazovic leading at first. Running on the pitch. The payoff is down low. Ball 4. Throw goes through down to second anyways. It's not going to matter. Third straight hitter has reached. This is now a concerning trend for Torres. He's now been charged with 2 walks, plus the walk that he inherited from walling on Mendoza. Makes it really kind of 3 walks. Technically only retired 1 hitter. That was Munguia, who he got to ground into the double play to end the second. Phil Kandari is going to make a trip out to the mound, place his arm on the shoulder of Lenny Torres, stare him right in the eyes, and really go heart to heart here. RJ Schreck is the hitter due up, and until McAdoo went hitless yesterday, Schreck was the only hitter who could contend with him for being as hot, and now it's Schreck all alone as the hottest hitter on the Bisons roster. So far this week, he is a scorching hot 8 for 15, and now make it 9 for 16 with his base hit back in the second. And before the first pitch, he's going to call time and step out here. Left-handed hitter as the infield swung around to the right side, except for Cairo, who has to stay tight to the bag at third base. Outfield also plays him to pull. Torres, the righty, slings the first one home. Fastball tails off the outside black. 1 ball, no strikes. One 1-0 on Schreck. Torres delivers. Fastball down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike. Torres drafted out of high school in Poughkeepsie, New York, out of Beacon High School. First round by the then Cleveland Indians, 41st overall back in 2018. 1-1. Sinker. They call it a sinker at 86. That's probably a rare changeup from Torres. This is off the plate, 2-1. Lenny came into baseball at a pretty inopportune time. That's the way his career's unfolded here. 2-1 pitch. Schreck way late. Swings and misses. The change of pace of the prior pitch really set Torres up nicely there. 2-2. Lenny made his debut in 2018, was throwing really well. Needed to get Tommy John surgery in 2019. COVID wiped out 2020, so he wasn't back on the mound until 2021. 2-2. Slider is cranked deep down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble, and it is a foul ball. just out in front of the new beer zip line out in the right field corner, or the terminus of the zip line, I should say. They've set up a beer delivery system from the first base side PTD party porch down to the concourse. 2-2, fastball called, strike 3. Inside corner at the knee, Shrek immediately challenges. Thinks that's in off the plate, but upon review, it's not. Got him looking, and Torres, with a huge strikeout for the first out of the inning, gets the Bison's hottest hitter. But if you missed it, the Pigs, we've put it up on social media, and you can come out to the ballpark and buy a beer in this fashion if you want. Out in the People First Plaza by the right field foul pole, we have a ladder. And at the beer stand out there, I think it's the Sam Adams stand. Here's Riley Tirada, walked his first time up, takes a fastball in under the arms. Ball one. You can order a beer there where for a very small surcharge to pay for shipping and handling, you can have a beer delivered from up in the party porch via zip line. It's got its own carrier and everything. 1-0. Fastball down and away, and Tirada in command of the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Beer gets put into a koozie that is attached via a carabiner to the zip line and gets sent down the zip line all the way to you. It's the farthest a beer has ever traveled in a ballpark. 2-0 pitch. Tirada swings and crushes it. Deep left field. Kemp giving it a look. That baseball's out of here in a hurry. 3-run, a line drive homer for Riley Tirada. And the Bisons able to blow this one open a little bit now. 6-0 here in the third inning. Second 3-run homer Torres has allowed this week, and for Tirada, it's his 5th of the season. Give him 16 RBIs now on the campaign. Not too dissimilar from the pitch that McAdoo hit out back on Tuesday from Torres, a slider that backed up on him. So the 3-run homer by Tirada puts the Pigs in a pretty big early hole now. Down 6-0. Pitch home to Josh Rivera. It's down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. And all of this, you don't put it squarely because of the scratch of Alan Rodhell, but everything kind of cascades from that. 1-0 on Rivera. Swings the pitch, fouls it back. 1-1. Eagles chant rings out down the right field line. 1-1. Rivera swings, fouls it back up towards us in the suites. Ping pong around a little bit. Fan finally jumps on top of it. 1-2 on Josh Rivera. Walked his first time up. Torres trying to bounce back after the 3-run homer. Stretches and deals 1-2. Slider slips out of the hand. Misses up and in. 2-2. 2-2 coming. Slider just a little bit low. 3-2. Torres back to the rosin bag. Taps off the top of his forehead, now set on the first base side. Kicks, delivers 3-2, and Rivera spoils another. Fastball fouled up over the screen and into the Patrons. So now the question becomes for the Pigs, can they cover all the innings tonight without setting themselves up for a bad position for the series finale tomorrow? Bryce Wilson is slated to start again this week for the Pigs. He threw 5 scoreless on Tuesday. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Rivera chases the sinker up and in. Running high and tight. Torres gets a whiff. Second strikeout of the inning. Tough to see the Pigs give up 6 runs early here today. Shutout of the Bisons last night. Looked like the pitching maybe had gotten back on track, but early damage. 3-run homer for Tirada, half of it. First pitch home to Carlos Mendoza. It's a breaking ball that snipes the inside corner. 0-1. The 4 shutouts for the Pigs in their first 37 games here is the most shutouts that they've had in 37 games since 2018, which ended up being a pretty good year. Only division championship for them. 0-1. Slider is off the plate, 1-1. They had 6 shutouts in their first 37 games that year, which is actually one worse than the 2017 team, who had 7 in the first 37. 1-1 coming. Mendoza shows bunt. Sinker is on the outside corner, though. 1-2. Think about that. 7 shutouts in 37 games. Basically talking one shutout a week. 1-2 on Carlos Mendoza. Torres trying to strike out 3 here in the third. Bisons, though, have plated 4 runs. Kick in the 1-2 pitch. Fastball called, strike 3. Fights back to the inside edge. Mendoza's going to challenge it, though. Bisons are already down 1 challenge here. See if they'll lose their second already, and they do. So Torres gets some looking. Backwards K to end the inning. Call in the field is confirmed. And Torres with 3 strikeouts in the third inning. But the Bisons score 4 times, 3 of them on the Tirada homer. We go to the last of the third. It's now 6-0 Buffalo here in the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
This is the season to finally make it happen at Ashley's Spring Savings Event. Discover mattresses for every type of sleeper with no interest for 5 years when you buy in store. That's top bedding brands starting at only $37 a month. And you can elevate your sleep for less. With Ashley Sleep adjustable base sets, now $600 off. The sleep you've been dreaming of is finally within reach. Make it happen today at Ashley's Spring Savings Event. Shop more spring mattress deals in-store or at ashley.com.
Basically, get out of the bed.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Patrick.
Joker has 1 more year with Denver, and then he has a player option after that. And then you wonder, and I do wonder this, when he gets to that last year player option, does he want to play elsewhere? Does he want to play, after that in the NBA? I mean, with him, it's a wild card. You're not quite sure. It's like he might just get up one day after a season and say, see ya, but not coming back. He's a great player. MVP. He's going to, they said he'll end up with 1 title. And I obviously still believe that. He's not winning the title. He's got the MVPs. He probably won't win another MVP. But he might look at this team and go, do I want to stay here? Now, he said, I want to be a Nugget for it. Okay. I mean, that's the right thing to say. You don't say, well, I don't know.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan, the Danettes, and you.
Weekdays 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
You're listening to IronPigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM, 1230 AM, and streaming at lvfoxsports.com.
Bottom of the third inning, IronPigs now trailing the Bisons 6-0 early here. This is 2 in the second, followed up by 4 in the fourth, or 4 in the third for the Bisons. Pigs send Sergio Alcantara to the plate here to begin the last of the third. The first pitch from C.J. Van Eyck. It's down low. 1 ball, no strikes, so 6-0 Bisons. So Alcantara leading it off, 9-1 and 2-2 up. Van Eyck working very quick. His 1-0 pitch is in off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Pigs have stranded a runner in scoring position each of the first 2 innings here. They've had 2 walks. Twice they have stolen second. 2-0 pitch. Cutter outside corner. Bell tie. 2-1. Stolen second and then stranded the runner on base. 0 for 4 with runner in scoring position today. 2-1 pitch. Alcantara checks the swing. Fastball is off the plate. 3-1. Alcantara hitting .253, but with an .825 OPS thanks to a .429 on base that is buoyed by 28 walks. It's top 5 in International League. 3-1 coming. Alcantara rips it on the ground. First base side, but it's foul. Count moves 3-2. So we'll see if the Pigs can rally for what would be their biggest comeback win of the season. Last Saturday, they actually tied their biggest comeback win. 3-2. Alcantara lifts into the air down the right field line. It's going to hook all the way into the right field seats. As it actually caroms off of a couple of seat backs and ends up all the way back in shallow right. And Charles McAdoo alert to it over at first will run out to shallow right, pick it up, hook it back into the stands. We'll see if it'll stay there this time. It does. It's wedged in the seat back. Kind of be funny if there was a foul ball one time that refuses to leave the field of play. 3-2. Curveball up and away, and Alcantara walks here to begin the third inning. So Van Eyck has issued 3 walks here, and all of them have come to either the leadoff man or the worst second hitter of the inning. So he's had to pitch out of the stretch pretty consistently here, but it just hasn't mattered. Because for his last 5 outs, they've all been strikeouts. Hasn't been a whole lot to do today for anybody in the field for the Bisons. The only out in the field of play was Cairo, who popped up to first base. First pitch, Stuart Baroa tries to drag a bunt at the first base line, but he fouls it off. 0-1. Anyways, last Saturday, the Pigs rallied from 6-1 down against Syracuse. They did that very late with the help of Syracuse walking the house. Ended up walking 6 batters in the 9th. 0-1 pitch. Baroa checks the swing. Changeup fades off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. 6-0 Bisons. Bottom of the third. Pigs still looking for their first hit. 1-1. Baroa fouls it in and out of the mitt of Simon Knight. 1-2. Shadows now cover the entirety of the playing surface. The only thing still bathed in sunshine is most of the right field wall and the concourse over there. Everybody else is not throwing the sweatshirt at this point, is even though it says 60 degrees, it's a little bit colder than that in the shade. 1-2 on Stuart Baroa. Kasevich backs up at third, now playing toward shortstop with Rivera at short, playing up the middle. Alcantara leads at first, 1-2, and Baroa fouls it off his foot. Feel like if the Pigs want any part of this game, this has got to be the inning. Just at least get on the board, answer back in some way after the Toronto 3-run homer. They've got Zach Pop warming up in the bullpen as he's on a Good Shepherd rehab assignment. 1-2. Baroa swings and misses. Fastball up out of the zone, a cutter. 6th strikeout of the game for Van Eyck already here. Ties a season high, and each of his past 6 outs has come by way of the punch-out. One out and a runner at first for Christian Cairo, who has the only out into the field of play today for the Pigs, a pop-up to first base. Alcantara is still at first. First pitch on the way, and it hits Cairo in the hands. Just above the hand, maybe towards the wrist, and oh man, that is a sensitive spot. And hopefully, that was a glancing blow for Cairo, and nothing more than that. But Andrew Dodson, very quick out of the dugout to greet him there. Will test the hand strength of Cairo immediately here. That tells you about all you need to know. If you're able to squeeze your hands, you've likely averted disaster. And looking at the replay, yeah, thankfully it looks like a glancing blow off the underside of his right wrist, but that's still not a great place to get hit. So it looks like Cairo is going to be okay here. Dodson gives Pigs manager Tank Adamson a nod of approval. So thankfully, Cairo okay. The Pigs, for the first time today, have a pair of runners on base. Two on, 1 out for Otto Kemp, who has been the RBI man this week. 11 RBIs, leads the entire International League. So he's swatted 3 homers, including already a pair of 3-run homers. Going for the trifecta, the 3-ball. 2 on, 1 out. Pigs down 6 in the third. First pitch home. Otto swings, fouls it back up over the screen. Bangs off the cement backstop up at the sweet level and back down to the lower concourse. Oh and 1 on Kemp. Strike 1 from Van Eyck, and the sweeper misses outside, 1-1. Infield back, double play depth. Outfield straight away on Kemp and deep. Van Eyck a look back at seconds. 1-1 offering. Change up. Ooh, just missed off the outside corner. Simonite held it there for a second, really stuck it, but just a little bit low maybe. Remember, the Bisons are out of challenges, so that was one that might have been worth a look. 2-1. Kemp got a hanger, and he pops it up back behind Tome. It'll get over the backstop, about 6 rows deep, landing straight down the tunnel to the Bisons clubhouse. So far today for Kemp against Van Eyck, just looks like he's caught just a little bit in between. Just a touch late on the breaking stuff, a little out ahead of the fastball. Van Eyck's been doing that to a lot of guys. 6 strikeouts today. 2 on, 1 out. The pitch, and Kemp swings, gets under it. High pop-up, mile high, back behind third. Shortstop Rivera will make the call, and the catch as the infield fly rule is called by the third base umpire, Derek Pacheco. 2 outs. That's a perfect example right there. Change-up left up by Van Eyck, and Kemp just enough out in front, but can't do anything but just get otherworldly underneath of it. 2 on, 2 out, and Carter Keyboom will try to come through. Keyboom 0 for 1 today with a punch-out. Alcantara at second, Cairo at first, Pigs down 6, bottom of the third inning. The first pitch, Keyboom tries to check the swing, but he fouls it back. 0-1. IronPigs now 0 for 5 tonight with the runners in scoring position. Keyboom from the right side, infield straight up, strike 1 pitch, cut on and missed. Foul tip, squeezed by Simonite, 0-2. On Carter Keyboom. 2 on, 2 outs. Van Eyck delivers. Change up just a little outside. Van Eyck was walking off the mound. He's asking the home plate umpire, was that down? Was that out? Looking at StatCast, it was just a little bit outside. Looked like it had the knees. Gutsy take, though, by Keyboom. Pitch was close. 1-2. Van Eyck rocks and deals. Fastball down and away, nearly to the same spot as his changeup that just missed. 2-2. Van Eyck with all the strikeouts. His pitch count is escalating here early. He's now at 63 pitches. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2. Keyboom off the end of the bat. A slow roller up the middle. The left field side of second. Mendoza gloves the second baseman. Throws in the run. And he airmails it. Coming to the plate to score is Alcantara. He beats the throw from McAdoo. And Cairo ends up at third base. First run of the game for the IronPigs comes on the throwing error by Mendoza. It's a single for Keyboom, an infield single. E4 allows the run to score there. Pigs will take it. Mendoza just, man, I don't know if he had a grip on that baseball, the way it took off on him. Good throw. He's going to be bang at first, but now 2 on, men in the corners, 2 outs for Brian De La Cruz. First pitch breaking balls high and tight on him. For the first time today, something has not gone C.J. Van Eyck's way. De La Cruz struck out swinging his first time up. 1-0 pitch, fastball, foul back. Got a pitch to hit right at the top of the zone. It's kind of been the MO today for the Pigs is Van Eyck hasn't been perfect. He's racked up the strikeouts, but every now and again he's left a pitch in the middle of the plate. IronPigs have not been able to capitalize. 1-1. Breaking ball on the inside corner. 1-2. So Van Eyck again a pitch away from getting out of it. 1 run home on the error by Mendoza. Keyboom at first, the 1-2. Breaking ball down and away. De La Cruz able to lay off of that. Brian, who has been a little cold of late, did have a 3 RBI game last night. 2-run double off the wall and right, and an RBI single later in the game. First and third, 2 outs, and before the 2-2, De La Cruz calls time and steps out. Zach Pop ready to go out in the Pigs bullpen when we go to the 4th for his rehab. Pigs trying to inch ever closer back into this ball game. Trail by 5 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Van Eyck's 2-2. De La Cruz gets under it, popped foul back over our heads and all the way towards the parking lot. De La Cruz here in this series is 6 for 16 with a pair of doubles, coming off of a 2 for 18 road trip. Another 2-2 on the way from C.J. Van Eyck. De La Cruz swings, ground ball to third, it eats up Kasevich and deflects into shallow left. A run comes in to score, Keyboom racing for third, Rivera will pick it up, throw to second, and everybody safe. Potentially another error here gets the Pigs one more run. It'll be an E5 on Kasevich as it just ate him up. Was only 86 off the bat, and yeah, he went down to a knee to field it, and it came up higher on him than expected. Now we're going to get a mound visit by the Bisons as Drew Hayes heads out there. Some defensive miscues for Buffalo here in the third inning, costing them dearly. So a straight E5 means that every run from this point forward in the inning on Van Eyck will be unearned, including the one that just scored Kyra. Keyboom aggressively able to take third base as Shrek was so deep in left, that had to be the shortstop Rivera to wade out into shallow left to get that baseball. Very quickly, now Devereaux Harrison is getting loose out in the Bison's bullpen. With Van Eyck, we mentioned his pitch count elevated at 70 thanks to his plethora of punch-outs. Runners at the corners, 2 outs for Leover Peguero as the Pigs now trail 6-2 here. First pitch, Van Eyck able to strike the outside corner with a cutter. 0-1. Peguero walked and stole the base his first time up. 2 errors now in the Bisons. Produced 2 runs for the Pigs here in the last of the third. 0-1. Peguero swings and misses, chasing the sweeper off the plate. 0-2. Another 2-strike count for Van Eyck. You had Keyboom with 2 strikes. De La Cruz reaching on the error with 2 strikes. Now 0-2 on Leover Peguero. Van Eyck delivers. Sweeper in the same spot. This time Peguero, a little bit wiser, lays off. Leover is one of the best the Pigs have with runners in scoring position, hitting .326 this year in clutch opportunities. Keyboom at third, De La Cruz at first. Infield plays Peguero to pull, and the pitch is lined by a diving Kasevich and down the left field line, all the way into the corner. De La Cruz getting the wave around third. Relays under the glove of Rivera. De La Cruz scores standing. It's a 2-run double for Leover Peguero, and this place has come to life. IronPigs erupting with 2 outs, take advantage of the 2 errors, have now plated 4 runs, and it's a 6-4 game here in the last of the third. 13th double of the year for Leover Peguero, ties him for the team lead. I should say for Peguero, ties him for the International League lead. Big 2-run double just out of the reach of the outstretched Kasevich at third on a body-length dive. The pitch to Caleb Ricketts, down and in from Van Eyck. Ball 1 in the dirt. He's going to ask for a new baseball here. If Rivera picks that throw from Shrek on the relay, they have a chance to get De La Cruz to the plate, but this inning's sloppy for the Bisons defensively. The 1-0 to Ricketts, swing and a miss. Out in front of a changeup. That's the pitch that Van Eyck got Ricketts to swing and miss at twice his first time up. 6-4 ball game, bottom of the third. Pigs with 2 outs. Coming to life here. 1-1. Ricketts swings, golfs it high in the air, deep to right. Tirada's back to the track in front of the wall. He has room, and pressed up against the fence, he makes the catch to end the inning. Pigs come up just shy of tying the game, but they score 4 to make this interesting. We've got a ball game. We go to the 4th. It's 6-4 Buffalo here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
At Papa John's, we start with better. No, seriously, every original crust pizza starts with our signature dough that's always fresh, never frozen, hand-tossed, and made with simple ingredients. And now our dough can save you dough when you order from the Papa Pairings menu. Pair a meat and wood-topping pizza with 1 or more of your Papa Pairings bakes for just $6.99. How about that for better? Order now on the app, only at Papa John's.
There's no better place to get your nice to meet you. Digital photographic studio in a award-winning studio located at 1321 North Street. Studio Studio Radio Network.
Go to the top of the fourth in what's now a brand new ball game. It's the Buffalo Bisons 6 and the IronPigs 4. Pigs with 4 unearned runs in the last of the third. Claw back to a 2-run game as it's time for the Rad fourth inning, brought to you by Toyota. Check out Toyota.com and visit your local Tri-State Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go Pigs. And here to join me for the top of the fourth is Zach Pop. Now enters into the game for the Pigs. Here from Bus Patrol America is Rick Burt. Rick, welcome.
Sam, great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about what you guys do over at Bus Patrol America.
Bus Patrol makes sure that every kid gets a safe journey to and from school each and every day. Across America, 39 million times a year, people illegally run the school bus stop arm. When folks see that red flashing light, when they see that yellow flashing embers, we try to tell them to stop and make sure every kid gets home safe.
First pitch from Zach Pop, home to Will Simonite. This is for, or actually, they call that a strike down the knees. Nice call for the Pigs there, 0-1. Pop on a Good Shepherd rehab appearance here for the IronPigs. Pop was put on the IL a couple weeks back by the Phillies. Kicks the leg high as 0-1. Simonite grounds it foul towards the Pigs dugout. 0-2, so Pop on for rehab here. Relieves Lenny Torres. Torres goes an inning and 2/3, 4 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Pop out of Brampton, Ontario. Set of the belts, 0-2. Sweeper down and away, 1-2. It's kind of self-explanatory, but tell me why bus safety is something that is so important.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that every kid gets home safely, right? Too many families are impacted by the loss, the tragedy, that near miss of seeing a child almost get struck. We know that our message to drivers is simple: stop or there are consequences.
And talking, I think, frankly, the best way to kind of put it for people is those consequences.
That's right.
What are they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, the terror of almost hurting a child. Also, the issuance of that $300 citation. We wanted to get the message out through education first, so that way we don't have to issue that citation.
1-2 misses up and in on Simonite. So actually, rather, the 2-2 misses up and in. It's now a full count, 3-2. So talk about education. How do you guys get your message out? Obviously, you're here tonight.
That's right. Yeah, we want to be talking with folks. We want to talk about what the law is, so folks know exactly what those expectations are. We want to talk about ways you can prevent that from happening, making sure your phone is down, you're fully focused, you're paying attention each and every time you're behind the wheel.
3-2 is fouled off by Simonite. He stays alive here. How does one get into this line of work?
Yeah,
what drove you to this?
Absolutely, good pun.
Nice.
You should just stand up comedy after this.
Hey, that's why they pay me the very medium bucks.
I got into this because I care about traffic safety, right? Everywhere we go, everyone's moving. We want everyone to move together and be safe. So my entire career has been in traffic safety. I've seen too many communities be impacted. Almost everyone knows someone who's lost their life to one of the leading causes of death and injury in this country, which is motor vehicle crashes. And school bus safety, keeping kids safe, is especially important.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Love to hear that.
Yeah.
I was not one of the kids growing up who was I hate saying like fortunate, but my parents didn't drive me everywhere,
right?
So I was constantly on the bus.
Yeah.
3-2 just misses down and away, but Ricketts is going to challenge that. Looks like it might get overturned. Yeah. It is going to be overturned. Good call by Ricketts. Calling the field overturned. That'll be a punch out looking of Simonite as Zach Pop begins his rehab here for the IronPigs with a punch out. You know, I grew up always taking the bus all the way through my senior year of high school by the time we were finally able to drive. And I thank my bus driver every day for the amount of times me and my sisters were late. We come sprinting out and, about a half mile down the road.
Yeah. Well, people forget how important bus drivers are, right? They're the first folks that kiddos see every day. They're the last face they see, and so they are also the champions who are keeping them safe each time they get on and off the bus. That's why our message tonight is pass the ball, not the bus.
Nice. I like that.
Thank you. That's it. Go Pigs. Yeah.
1-0 on Ismael Munguia, top of the order here for the Bisons. Munguia 0 for 2 today, a strikeout, and bounced into that stunning double play that Leover Piguero turned a couple innings back. 1-0 breaking ball weaves onto the outside corner. 1-1. So, this is your guys' first time out here this
That's
season,
right. Yeah, we've Allentown is home to us. We have an incredible team that's based here. We've been working all throughout the school districts. At about a dozen of the neighboring school districts here in the valley are our proud partners. We've been doing this for over a decade, but this is our first time partnering with the Pigs to get this message out.
That's really awesome. And you enjoy the night so far?
Oh my gosh, how can you not? We were a little iffy on the rain earlier, but now the sunshine is out and the score is going in the right direction too.
Very much so. This has been an interesting game so far.
Yes.
Bison's able to take advantage of the Pigs having to go to a bullpen game early, and the Pigs capitalizing on some errors in the last of the third.
Right.
1-2. It's up high. 2-2. You a baseball guy?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I grew up in Ohio, so Reds fan. I don't want to offend any of our listeners. Yes.
What part of Ohio?
Near Dayton, Springfield?
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents are still season ticket holders to the Dayton Dragons.
No kidding.
So yes. And I think Mom might be listening tonight.
Yeah.
So, hey, Mom. Yeah.
Munguia slashes it down the left field line, slicing towards the picnic patio. That's going to be a foul ball. 2-2. Well, we'd love anybody who comes in, with a minor league background.
Absolutely.
Kind of knowing what we do here. And the Dragons are always up there with us attendance-wise. We're always battling with them for the attendance.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, this is where the people are, right?
Yeah,
it's a great opportunity to bring the community together, to have fun, to enjoy a good game, not take it too seriously, but enjoy the time together. And that's where we saw a great opportunity to talk about this important safety issue too.
Yeah, and as the school year winds to a close, what does the summer look like for you guys?
Well, our school districts still have summer sessions, so our message is still just as important during those hotter days of summer as it is, and we're always planning on back to school season too.
2-2's bounced on the ground over to first. Keyboom surrounds an underhand flip to Pop covering at the bag. 3-1 put out, and there's 2 gone here in the 4th. Joined by Rick Burt from Bus Patrol America. Rick, just thinking about the way that the school districts here in the area operate, for me, I grew up not in a city like Allentown.
Right.
What makes school traffic and transporting kids around a city kind of different than what most people probably grew up in the suburbs?
Yeah, there are some things that make it different, but it's pretty much the same in that, folks know from the youngest of age that when you see the big yellow bus, they all look the same, they all act the same. When you see a group of kids they're about to board the bus, slow down, pay attention. We live in an area where we're always distracted. We're focused on getting to work. We're focused on getting wherever we're going, but that haste, that rush really does put people at risk. So we have, a simple message that when you see the bus, whether the lights are flashing or not, just slow down to pay attention. We're trying to put ourselves out of business here and eliminating issuing the citations by making sure each kid, each trip, every time gets that safe journey to and from school.
0-1 to Jonathan Classe, and Pop on the outside corner. Jumps ahead here, 0-2 Pop. Trying to go 1-2-3 in his rehab inning. We're unsure if Pop will make another rehab appearance later this year or not. As I swear out in the IronPigs bullpen, I think that's Alan Ronhell who was scratched to begin the game. 0-2. Classe, a chopper right side, weakly hit. Coming in, Piguero, he glove flip over to first. In time to get Classe. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Pop. Well, Rick, it was an absolute pleasure having you on the air here.
Yes, great to be here. Go Pigs.
We go to the last of the 4th. It's 6-4 Buffalo here on the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
This is the finest at Ashley's Spring Savings Event. Discover mattresses for every type of sleeper. No interest for 5 years at buy-in store. That's top bedding brand starting at only $37 a month. And you can elevate your sleep for less. With Ashley's adjustable base beds, now $600 off. The sleep you've been dreaming of is finally within reach. Make it happen today at Ashley's Spring Savings Event. Shop more spring mattress deals in-store or at ashley.com.
This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowher.
The Denver Nuggets, their season's over. What they've become is Milwaukee 3 years ago, where they have this legendary big, they win a title, and then it's fear-based decisions, clinging to older players. Because they're a smaller or ignored market, they don't know what to do. With Jokic, you are Milwaukee about 4 years ago. You win a title, you start getting old, you're not athletic enough. Teams in the East are getting really athletic, really long, really deep and you're afraid to make a big move. Denver, you got to blow it up. I love Aaron Gordon. You can't stay healthy, and he's not very durable, and he's got a huge market. Here's a team in Minnesota that didn't have Ant, one of the top 5 players in the league. They still dominated.
This is The Herd with Colin Howard. Wow. Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
You're listening to Iron Pigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio 94.7 FM, 12:30 a.m. and streaming at lvfoxsports.com.
Home half of the fourth, Iron Pigs still in a 2-run deficit to the Buffalo Bisons as the first pitch from C.J. Van Eyck to Oscar Mercado. Misses down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Pigs with 4 in the third. Made this a ball game again. 1-0 from Van Eyck. Mercado takes. Cutter, outside corner. 1-1. So both teams with 4 spots in the third, and both doing it in pretty disparate ways. Bison's getting a 3-run homer and a triple plus a base hit. And before the 1-1, time called by Mercado, Will Simonite was also kind of fallen out of his squad. Him and Mercado kind of embraced there. Don't know what that's about, but 1-1 on Oscar. Struck out looking his first time up. 1-1, Oscar swings, gets under it, a pop-up. Down the right field line, Bermuda Triangle territory, second baseman Mendoza out, and he will call everybody off and make the catch. 1 out. Mentioned it at the end of the top of the fourth inning that Alan Ronhell is throwing out in the Iron Pigs bullpen. The plot thickens. Ronhell, who was supposed to be the starting pitcher tonight, instead didn't start. Instead, Ronhell was scratched. Andrew Walling ended up starting. It looked like the Pigs were going with the bullpen game, with Walling being followed by Torres and then by Pop. But now all of a sudden, Ronhell is warming up. Pitch to Sergio Alcantara is fouled off. 0-1. Alcantara started the rally last inning with a leadoff walk off of Van Eyck. So I'm not sure if the Phillies and the Iron Pigs pitch to Alcantara is chopped foul at the plates. 0-2. If this is a move to allow Ronhell to get some more work out of the bullpen to prepare him for a long man role at the major league level. If this was a product of, let's see how the Phillies game goes, if they get, in trouble with rain, or if Nola gets knocked out early and they're going to need somebody tomorrow, then the Iron Pigs just don't use Ronhell. 0-2, called strike 3. Alcantara knew it. Van Eyck dices him on 3 pitches. 7th strikeout of the game for C.J. Van Eyck. That is now a new season high for him. Back to the top of the order, and Stuart Burroa. Burroa 0 for 1 today with a walk. Pigs 4 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 6-4-2 for the Bisons. First pitch from Van Eyck misses up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Two outs, nobody on. Van Eyck working briskly. Fires a changeup, fades back onto the inside corner. 1-1. Burroa swings and misses. 1-2. One and two on Stuart Burroa. Kasevich backs up third base. Infield plays Burroa to pull. The 1-2 curveball down and in has Burroa hopping about in the box. Tough take for him. 2-2. Up and in. Burroa with some words in Spanish as he jumps out of the way of that. Find me a more animated player than Stuart Burroa. I dare you. You can't. Full count on Burroa. Van Eyck looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. The 3-2. Burroa reaching for it. Able to scrape it foul up over the backstop and up into the sweets. 1-2. Or still 3-2. Beg your pardon. Van Eyck, the winds. Payoff coming. Down and in. Ball forward. Burroa walked with a very mean fist pump coming out of the box. 2-out base runner for the Pigs. Every time that they've had a chance to run on Van Eyck, they have, but they will not have the opportunity here as Casey Candale out to the mound to take the ball from Van Eyck, who goes 3 2/3 innings today. Pigs grind him to dust with 90 pitches. He holds the Pigs to just 4 unearned runs. So we got a pitching change. Harrison Devereaux coming on, or Devereaux Harrison coming on for the Bisons. We'll be back in 60 seconds here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
This is the Herd
You got to be consistent.
with Colin Cowherd.
I check the Denver Nuggets. Their season's over. What they've become is Milwaukee 3 years ago, where they have this legendary bid, they win a title, and then it's fear-based decisions leading to overplays. Because they're a smart, ignored market, they don't know what to do. With Jokic, you are Milwaukee about 4 years ago. You win a title. You start getting worried. You're not athletic enough. You was in the East are getting really long, really deep. You got to blow it out. I love Eric Gordon. And he's got a huge market. Here's a team. Yeah. Players in the league, they still dominate.
This is the Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
You're listening to the IronPigs Radio Network.
Pitching change for the Buffalo Bisons as C.J. Van Eyck exits stage right in place of Devereaux Harrison for the Buffalo Bisons. Van Eyck done after 3 2/3, 2 hits, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. Right now on the hook for 4 unearned runs, all coming across with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Van Eyck, what a weird start. First time through the order, doesn't allow or allows only 1 ball in play as he strikes out 5, walks 2, and 1 pop-up. Second time through the order, Pigs only get 2 hits off of him, but 2 more walks, plus a hit batter and some errors, and all of a sudden, it's a 2-run ball game. Christian Cairo will greet Harrison out of the bullpen, and before the first pitch, he steps off. Cairo hit by a pitch his last time up, got him on the underside of his right wrist. Right-handed pitcher, Harrison set crossfire, delivers home, the fastball's cut on and missed. Snap throw back to first, and Baroa dives back. Harrison threw back on Tuesday, 2 1/3 scoreless, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Second consecutive scoreless outing for him. 0-1, breaking ball, and Cairo waves through it, little late. Pitch was up out of the zone. 0-2. On the season, Harrison 1-1, 2.76 ERA out of the bullpen. Has made a couple of starts. 1-2 overall in the season. Made 1 start, a 4.34 ERA. 0-2 on Cairo. Baroa at first. 2-strike pitch. Cairo off the end of the bat, a pop-up right in front of second base. In comes Mendoza, the second baseman, just on the cut of the grass. Makes the call, the catch, and the inning over. Pigs get a 2-out walk, but leave Baroa at first. And we go to the 5th. It's still 6-4 Buffalo here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Has been part of the Lehigh Valley community for more than 40 years. The life-sustaining products we manufacture right here in Allentown are used to treat millions of patients in hospitals throughout the United States every year. We're committed to protecting and improving the health of Lehigh Valley. We're proud to be a founding partner of Lehigh Valley IronPigs. Visit us today at bisons.com.
Go to the top of the fifth. It's still the Buffalo Bisons 6 and the Iron Pigs 4. Pitching change for the Pigs. Alan Ronhell, surprisingly, takes over for Zach Pop, whose Good Shepherd rehab assignment is done. Pop goes 1 scoreless inning, retires all 3 batters he faces, strikes out 1, 18 pitches, 13 strikes. Looked like he was pretty healthy. We'll see if he gets another outing with the Pigs next week when they're on the road in Rochester, or if that's his only rehab appearance. But Alan Ronhell now in and out of the bullpen on the mound, and joining me here to talk about it is Mary Jo McNulty from Lehigh University, Director of Employee Engagement. Mary Jo, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit, what's going on over at Lehigh?
At Lehigh, we are hiring. We have many positions available, coordinator positions, assistant directors at different departments, associate directors. We're just ending the semester this year, so we're enjoying the downtime on campus a little bit. We're looking forward to commencements next week, but the important message we're trying to send is we're hiring.
You mentioned a lot of different roles in a lot of different places.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if you have the answer to this. Why?
There's always turnover.
Yeah.
People, they will move away or retire. We just had our appreciation dinner where we celebrated. There were 20 retirements this
Wow,
year.
that's awesome.
So most of those positions we're going to fill. It's good for them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of the things you want to do is you want to see people stay and just retire from Lehigh.
Live their life.
Correct. Absolutely.
How long have you been at Lehigh?
I have been at Lehigh a little over 44 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's absolutely amazing. It's a great place to work. I feel like I grew up there and raised my family there and met my husband while I was there. And our triplets were the first set of triplets to graduate from Lehigh.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it is my second family there.
So this is pretty wild as the pitch to Kasevich is popped up, foul ground down the first baseline, backpedaling Keyboom a little unsettled, but he makes the catch off balance on 1 foot. That's the first out here of the fifth. I'm a triplet.
Are you really?
Yeah,
How
no kidding.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's wild.
That is very wild. You are the second person today I talked to who had was part of a triple family.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I grew up down the road down in Doylestown.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. We only knew one other set of triplets.
That's crazy.
Growing up. So small world. What's the composition?
2 boys and a girl.
Okay, we're the opposite. 2 girls, I'm the only boy.
My sister-in-law has 2 girls and a boy.
Oh,
my husband's
goodness.
sister. So my
Wow.
mother-in-law had 6 grandchildren within a year.
Wow, that's insane. Pitch from Ronhell to McAdoo's up high, 1-1. That's really cool, though.
It is.
And
Good things come in threes.
Did you say they went to Lehigh as well?
They did go to Lehigh.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yes.
Did they all went to Lehigh?
They all went to Lehigh.
Wow.
Because they wanted to.
That's crazy. I give them a lot of credit that you guys must really love Lehigh because I can't imagine going to school with my sisters.
I know.
Once I was out of high school, I was like, no, we're done with this.
Well, that's what they said when they found out they were all accepted. We're not living together. They lived in the same dorm, but nobody would be anybody's roommates. But they're the best of friends.
That's really, really cool. That's amazing. So 44 years at Lehigh. How have you seen Lehigh change over that time? Because higher education as a whole has certainly changed drastically during that.
Absolutely has. It's wonderful to see more women in leadership roles at Lehigh.
Throw over to first on a grounder. Over to Cairo. Nice play to get McAdoo. 2 gone here in the fifth.
We had our first woman president, Alice Gast. She was our 13th president. That was incredible to see. I see more women in VP levels and coaches and things like that. It is just, it's great. There's more sense of a belonging with the women on campus.
First pitch comes home to R.J. Schreck. He pops it up. Foul ground, third base side. Cairo giving a look by the dugout. Just runs out of room. 0-1. And before this inning potentially comes to an end, I want to make sure for any of the jobs that you talked about, if people are interested, they want more information, they maybe want to apply, how can they do so?
If you go to hr.lehigh.edu, you can click on staff careers and look at all of the available postings and see what's coming up.
Will referencing this interview that they hear right now guarantee them a job?
It will not. Absolutely not.
Pitches up and into Shrek. 1 ball and 1 strike. I try to see whether or not we can get more people to tune in by dangling the carrot, as it were.
Absolutely. But keep looking, and jobs come up all the time. So look all the time. Absolutely.
1-1 on RJ Shrek. 2 outs. Ron Hell delivers Shrek a hard ground ball towards second. That's going to get into center for a base hit. And RJ Shrek, another multi-hit game this week. Support with 2 outs for Riley Tirada, who homered his last time up. Do you have a favorite memory of your time at Lehigh?
I was fortunate. I have a couple memories. I was fortunate to travel with the football team last year when they went to Idaho.
Yeah.
I got to travel with the team to go to that game. And I also went with the women's basketball team when they went to North Carolina.
That's really, really cool.
It's just absolutely incredible. Watching the student athletes, they are absolutely amazing. So those are 2 of my favorite memories. But I was also the staff speaker at Alice Gask's inauguration.
Oh, that's really cool.
That was really cool.
How did you luck into that?
They selected me.
Yeah.
I don't know how I lucked into that, actually. So I was very fortunate to get selected.
Are you somebody who has given public speeches or talks before like that? Or is that like they asked you to do it, you're like, oh boy, how do I do this?
Pretty much, oh boy, how do I do this? I love to talk, as you can tell, and I was comfortable because
That's really cool.
I'm passionate about Lehigh, obviously. So it came naturally, and my best friend helped me with it.
That's really, really cool. Did you keep a copy of the speech?
I did keep a copy of the speech. Absolutely.
Good. I'm unfortunately somebody who speaks off the cuff a lot.
Sure.
So I'm like, oh, well, I don't really remember what I said, but I hope it was good.
I don't remember what I say either, and I replay it in my mind going, oh boy.
0-2 on Riley Tirada. 2 strikes, 2 outs, a man at first, Pigs down a pair. Here in the top of the 5th, visiting with Mary Jo McNulty from Lehigh University. A lot of jobs in the offering. Lehigh going into summer months. Get everything ready for the fall.
Absolutely.
Pitch comes home. It's cut on and missed. Runner takes off anyways. That won't matter as Tirada down on strikes in the inning over. Well, Mary Jo, it was a pleasure talking with you here for the top of the 5th.
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you for having me.
We go to the last of the 5th. It's 6-4 Buffalo here on the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
We're celebrating 25 years of covering Lehigh Valley sports. Moments like state championships, covering the biggest moments in Lehigh sports. This is Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM, 12:30 a.m.
Scoring up to be presented by Ashley. Look around the page for things to listen to Rocky 7-3 in the bottom of the 6th. Ball over here in the International League. Toledo hanging 12 on Memphis right now. 12-6. They lead the Redbirds in the top of the 7th. Jackson now leading Charlotte 6-5 in the bottom half of the 6th. Bottom 6, Auburn at 9-2. They've North Bend. Durham and Round Rock go back and forth. The Express lead the Durham Bulls 4-3 in the top of the 5th. Nashville ahead of Louisville 6-4, bottom half of the 4th. Still to come tonight, St. Paul, Las Vegas, the recap at 10:05. Also the back end of the doubleheader between Omaha and Annapolis. Bottom from earlier today, Rochester beat Syracuse 7-4. Iowa's offense hangs 13 on Columbus in a 13-6 win. Meanwhile, Indianapolis won the front end of the Springville in 9 innings, 2-1. Worcester and Sterling postponed due to rain. Pigs trying to battle back down 6-4 against Buffalo at the halfway mark. We send things back over to Sam Jelinek.
Thank you, Jack. Like you said, halfway home. IronPigs trailing Buffalo at 6-4. Certainly could be a lot worse. Don't really think it could be a whole lot better, frankly, for the Pigs to this point, given the way the start of this game began with Buffalo jumping out to a 6-0 lead. The Pigs battling it with 4 runs in the last of the 3rd, able to make this ball game. Now trying to get it done against the Bisons bullpen. Devereaux Harrison got the final out of the 4th, delivers to Otto Kemp. The pitch is swung on and missed, 0-1. Kemp today 0-2 off of C.J. Van Eyck, who line now final 4 runs unearned, all of them over 3 2/3 innings. 0-1 misses, 1 ball, 1 strike. Harrison into his wind, third base side of the rubber, delivers home and overcooks a cutter this time, down and away. Ball 2. So Kemp, Keyboom, and De La Cruz here due up in the 5th. Really think back to that 4-run third inning, the Iron Pigs taking advantage of the errors. It's just such an axiom constantly. 2-1, spiked out from a plate by Harrison, 3-1. You give a team extra outs, going to take advantage. And you give them multiple extra outs, it's going to hurt even more. And for the Pigs, who were having trouble with runners in scoring position today, they're now 2 for 10. They didn't get those hits until the extra errors in the third inning. 3-1, Kemp pops it up down the right field line. First baseman McAdoo out towards the tarp in foul ground. Sunder it makes the catch. 1 out. One out, nobody on. Brings up Carter Keyboom. Keyboom singled, infield single in the third that started the whole mess of errors for the Bisons back in the third. Takes the first pitch breaking ball down low. This is infield hit, grounder towards second that coaxed a throwing error from Carlos Mendoza, scoring a run. 1-0. Harrison misses down low with another cutter. Ball 2. Pitch mix for Devereaux Harrison. It's sweeper, curveball, four-seam fastball, changeup, and cutter. Basically, everything is going to move glove side for this righty out in the hill. Lines and deals, 2-0 pitch. It's the cutter. Swung on and missed. Although he came into the game only using that cutter 17% of the time, he has featured it heavily today against the Iron Pigs. Lines and offers, 2-1 coming. Fastball at 94, at the bottom of the zone, 2-2. 2-2 on Keyboom. Takes his time out here. Takes his stance in the back of the box. Harrison, a deep breath, winds, offers, cutter down and away as he nearly fell off the first base side of the mound. Catcher Simonite was asking for a challenge, but Bisons burned both of theirs earlier. They were done by the third inning today. It's a good thing that Simonite didn't have a challenge. He would have burned another. Full count on Keyboom. The payoff. Just a little bit low. It's ball 4. Pitch almost in the same spot as the one that Simonite wanted to challenge. They were a little bit lower this time, and Keyboom draws the walk, and the Pigs, for the first time, well, since the second inning, bring the tying run to the plate. Brian De La Cruz, who reached on the clean error by Josh Kasevich over at third base, ground ball that just ate him up. De La Cruz, who hasn't homered in nearly a month. Got to go all the way back to the series in St. Paul in mid-April. First pitch is down away to him. 1 ball, no strikes. Pigs have been not bereft of power, but it's really come in bunches and concentrated on only a few guys at a time. 1-0 offering. De La Cruz looks at a breaking ball down low. He was following it all the way in. I think he was running an elevator alongside that baseball, squatting with it. Just below the knees, ball 2. And when Felix Reyes was here, he was providing a lot of the punch. Still leads the team with 6 homers, 2-0. Down the dirt, and Harrison losing control. Walks Keyboom, now 3-0 on De La Cruz. Caleb Ricketts got hot for a little bit. Robert Moore also with 4. De La Cruz has 4 of them. Otto Kemp this week with 3 homers. But it's very rarely the entire lineup is, giving home run danger at one time. 3-0. It's up high. Ball 4, and Harrison walks a second straight. After the battle with Keyboom, not really close at all there to De La Cruz, and a mound visit is in the offing now as the pitching coach Drew Hayes, with a brisk jog out to the mound here, gives us a chance to give you a Major League Scoreboard update brought to you by the Morning Call, your first source for local journalism, breaking news, and exclusive content you can rely on. Phillies lead the Rockies 7-3. Kyle Schwarber, a big 3-run homer helping to spur the offense there. Aaron Nola did not make it through 5, but the Phillies bullpen picking him up. Tim Mesa pitching for the 3rd time in 4 days. Twins and Guardians just underway. Twins lead at 1-0 at the end of the first. Rangers beating up the Cubs 4-0. That's at the end of 4. Royals shutting out the Tigers 5-0. Bobby Witt Jr. an inside the park homer. Yankees lead the Brewers 2-0 there in the 5th. White Sox 4-0 over the Mariners. That's in the top of the 5th. 2 on, 1 out. Pitch to Liover Peguero, and Harrison misses with another. 6 straight out of the zone. D-backs lead the Mets 2-1. That's top of 5. Cardinals 1-0 over the Padres, also in the 5th. Finals from earlier today, the Blue Jays 14 runs on 20 hits. Beat the Angels 14-1. Kind of more surprisingly, the Angels had 10 hits. 2 on, 1 out, 1-0 coming. Peguero swings the line, drive down the left field line. It's a fair ball and all the way into the corner again. Keyboom comes in to score. Over to third, De La Cruz. He'll stop at third. And Peguero in at second with his second RBI double of the night. It's a 1-run game. Buffalo 6, the Iron Pigs now 5 here in the bottom of the 5th. And you could see it as it was happening. De La Cruz motoring to third, had his eyes on the ball in the corner. Tank Adamson at third base was trying to wave him around, but De La Cruz didn't see him. And Adamson had to throw up the stop sign. That could be a huge moment in this game here. So Peguero now 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs and 2 doubles. Pitch home to Caleb Ricketts is down and in on him. 1 ball, no strikes. Now 14 doubles for Peguero. Tops in the International League. Second and third, 1 out. Infield is back for the Bisons. The pull side for the lefty. 1-0. Cutter down below the knees. Ball 2. Ricketts 0 for 2 today. Flied out to the wall and right, ending the third. The momentum the Pigs had kind of thought off the bat it was going to tie the game. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball down and in. Ricketts spits on it. The Pigs doing a great job laying off of Devereaux Harrison's off-speed pitches down out of the zone here. De La Cruz at third, Peguero at second, Kasevich at third, tight to the bag and in. The rest of the infield is back. 1-run game, bottom of the 5th. The 3-0 pitch. Ricketts swinging away, skies it. Shallow center, racing in Munguia, still coming in, gets under it, makes the catch. De La Cruz bluffs a tag from third as the throw in cut off by McAdoo. That's the second out of the inning. So a double gut punch now after De La Cruz has to be held up at third. Ricketts swinging 3-0, pops it up. It's going to be up to Oscar Mercado here. And what a time would it be for him to snap the schneid. Mercado 0 for 10 last week is now 0 for 9 this week. Hitless in his last 19 at-bats. Infield is back, except for McAdoo at first. First pitch, Oscar swings and misses. Sweeper down and away. 0-1. Golden opportunity to tie the game for the Pigs. Ricketts a 3-0 count. Gets jammed by a fastball. Now Mercado trying to come through here. And before the strike one pitch, calls time and steps out. Pigs 5 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. 6-5-2 for the Bisons. Bottom of the 5th, second and third, 2 outs. The pitch home. Mercado swings and misses. 0-2. Out in front of the sweeper. Michael Plassmeyer, the former Pig in Philly, getting loose out in the bullpen. 0-2 on Oscar Mercado. The pitch comes home. Mercado a ground ball up the middle and sneaks into center, a base hit. De La Cruz comes in to score. Peguero right behind him. And Oscar Mercado, a 2-run single, snaps the 0 for 19 schneid to give the Pigs the lead in the 5th. 7-6, they're on top. From 6-0 down to a 1-run lead just 3 innings later. And Mercado, man, he knows how bad he needed that. At first, he is all smiles. He's doing the high stepping over at first. He is juiced. Now Sergio Alcantara, Mercado's running. Why not? The throw to second is on the money and Mercado's out. Well, he's feeling himself, trying to run after his first base hit in a while to give the Pigs the lead. He's thrown out to end the inning. But Oscar, the 2-run single, does give the Pigs the lead 7-6 as they score 3 times here in the 5th. We go to the 6th. 7-6 Iron Pigs here in the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Now, having Jefferson out.
How about it for the Pigs? Down 6-0 after 2.5 innings today. They've scored 7 unanswered for a 1-run lead as we begin the top of the 6th. Alan Ronhell back to work for the Iron Pigs here. Steps into his wind. Delivers home to Josh Rivera. Fastball is up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Yariel Rodriguez now onto the mound, or on the bullpen mound for the Bisons. Gets loose after Plasmeyer was throwing in the bottom of the 5th. 1-0. It's in for a strike. On Rivera, 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 coming home. Rivera swings. It's a towering drive deep to left. Kemp is back to the track at the wall, and the Pigs' lead is no more. Josh Rivera solo homer, and as quickly as the Pigs get their first lead of the night, it is gone. Solo shot for Rivera, his 5th of the season. We're all square at 7 here in the 6th. I figured it probably wasn't going to take 7 runs to win tonight. It's probably going to take more. But, well, here we are, tied at 7 on Rivera's 5th of the season. Changeup that hung for Ron Helms on the inside corner, and Rivera turned on. First pitch home to Carlos Mendoza is rocked on a line towards right. It's going to get down for a hit. Mercado can't cut it off before the wall. Mendoza on his way to second. The throw, it's late. Some loud contact off of Alan Ronhell here to begin the 6th. Solo homer and now a double. So Ronhell in his first inning of work out of the bullpen gave up just a single in the 5th with a strikeout. Solo homer and a double. A couple extra base hits here to begin the 6th. Allen working out of the bullpen for the first time with the Iron Pigs, although that's the only scenarios he's pitched for the Phillies at the major league level in his brief major league career. Pitch home to Will Simonite. Fastball down low to him. One ball, no strikes. Ronhell kicks, delivers to Simonite, rolls over a grounder, third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Allen, last time he threw for the Pigs was last Sunday on the road in Syracuse. Took his 3rd consecutive loss, although he's thrown well in 2 out of those 3 starts. Gave up 1 run, 5 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. 1-1, slider down the dirt. Ball 2, but he's facing a Bisons team that has seen a lot of him. 9 different Bisons have taken at-bats previously against Ronhell. So there is a bit of a book. 2-1 pitch. Simonite gets under it, popped up, foul ground, first base side. That's going to drift all the way out of the ballpark. 2-2. Ronhell on the season for the Pigs has been their most consistent pitcher. 2-3, 2.56 ERA. Leads the team with 31 2/3 innings. 2-2, swing and a miss. Pulled the string on a dandy of a changeup down and away. Strikeout Simonite, now 0 for 2 today with 2 punch-outs. 1 gone in the 6th, and back to the top of the order for Ismael Munguia. Munguia 0 for 3 out of the leadoff spot today. Left-handed hitter. First pitch from Ronhell. Munguia late. Fouls it off. Munguia, a guy who has seen Ronhell a lot with Scranton Wilkes-Barre last year, had 12 at-bats. Against Ronhell, only 2 hits. Infield plays the lefty to pull. 0-1. Change-up or curveball, rather. Fades down and away. One and one on Ismael Munguia. Tied at 7, top of the 6th. 1-1, change-up fades off the plate. Ball 2. Josh Rivera tying the game with a solo homer here to begin the 6th. Mendoza doubling, still out at 2nd, 2-1. Munguia off the end of the bat, a roller out to short. Alcantara gloves, gets rid of it quick to first on target, and gets Munguia. 2 outs. Over to 3rd, though, goes Mendoza. Brings up Jonathan Clase. 1 for 3 today, tripled to begin the 3rd, coming in to score in that 4-run inning. So expect Yariel Rodriguez to come in out of the bullpen when we go to the bottom of the 6th. He's been throwing for a good bit. Devereaux Harrison hit hard, giving up the lead in the bottom of the 5th for the Bisons. First pitch home to Clase. Fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. But for the moment, or rather, for now, Harrison's name has been wiped from the ledger as the Bisons have come back to tie the game against the Pigs, taking his name off the hook for the loss. Ronhell trying to keep it tied at 7. 0-1. Clase gets under it. Mile high over the dugout third base side and back towards the suites. Ronhell jumps ahead quickly, 0-2 here. Going 2 on Jonathan Clase. Mendoza sprinting down the line at 3rd, now backs off as Ronhell misses down and away with a changeup. Ronhell's changeup is his bread and butter. That fastball changeup combination is lethal. Changeup has garnered the most swings and misses of any changeup in the minors this season. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the changeup down the dirt. Blocked by Ricketts. Tags out Clase. And the inning over. Bisons tie it on the Rivera solo homer, but Ronhell leaves the potential go-ahead run at 3rd base to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th, all square at 7. Here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. Bottom of the sixth, Iron Pigs now in a tie game with Buffalo Bisons, 7-all. Pigs take the lead very briefly from the Bisons with a 3-run bottom of the fifth. Oscar Mercado go-ahead 2-run single. Bisons tied up on their first swing at the top of the sixth. Josh Rivera, a solo homer. But Alan Ronhell leaves a double stranded at third base with 2 outs, striking out Jonathan Clase. So Yario Rodriguez comes into the game all square at 7 apiece. This pitching change for the Bisons brought to you by Lehigh Valley Chimney Specialists, keeping the valley safe, one chimney at a time. So Rodriguez will have 9-1 and 2 due up for his second appearance of the week. Righty out of Cuba, making his 11th outing. No record, 3.09 ERA, 11 and 2/3 innings, 21 strikeouts, 9 walks, 6 hits. 29 years old, 6 foot tall, 165-pound righty. Batter is Sergio Alcantara, and the pitch is on the outside corner, 0-1. Alcantara 0 for 1 today, walked and scored to kick off the 4-run rally back in the 3rd inning. Switch hitter batting left, infield plays on the pull. Rodriguez the stretch, the pitch, and Alcantara swings and misses, flat-footed at a fastball. 0-2. Kasevich can now back up at third base, not worry about the bunt with 2 strikes. Rodriguez, first base side, has his sign, reaches into his glove for the ball, kicks the leg high, 0-2. Splitter drops off the table, down low. 1-2. One-two from Rodriguez. Swing and a miss. Doubled up on the splitter, and Rodriguez swings through it. First out here, the 6th. Rodriguez replacing Devereaux Harrison. Inning and a third for him out of the bullpen. Gives up 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Back at the top of the order, Stuart Baroa. Baroa 0 for 1. Drew a pair of walks off of C.J. Van Eyck. Switch hitter batting left. First pitch. Baroa swings, fouls it back. Pretty lethal hack that time by Baroa. You can see it every now and again. He can really ramp up the bat speed. He's the kind of guy who, you know, as a hitter, I kind of like it. It's got a bag of tricks. You know, grab a 7-iron. He can tone down the swing a little bit. Pause into the leg lift from Rodriguez. Now the pitch. 0-1 fastball. It's at the knees. Outside corner. 0-2. And time called by Baroa. Goes back and asks open umpire Steven Jashinsky about that pitch. Not sure if he thought it was outside or if he wanted to challenge or what. 2-strike pitch from Rodriguez. Here it is. Splitter up and away. 1-2. They're trying to start the wave right now from the right field foul pole through the rest of the ballpark coming behind home. Game tied at 7 here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Rodriguez. Comes on Splitter again here. Two outs, nobody on for Christian Cairo. Rodriguez looking to strike out the side here. Not going to lie, they've got the wave working pretty good here. First pitch to Cairo is down and away. Ball 1, although It was wrap around the third base side when the right field side went nuts, which, they're starting it again. No juice behind it this time. Good riddance. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. I'm firmly in the anti-wave camp of crowd engagement. I think there's just so many better things to do. 1-1. Cairo lines it the other way over the leaping McAdoo at first and down the right field line. Towards the corner, Tirana cuts it off, throws it into second. It's a base hit for Christian Cairo. He's on base for a second time today here. Go ahead, run aboard at first. 2 outs, and Otto Kemp coming up. Good piece of hitting by Cairo. Fastball down and away, just goes with it. Now Otto Kemp hitless today. 0 for 3. Wonder if Cairo will be running here. Pigs ended last inning with Mercado getting thrown out. And Cairo, who leads the team with 9 stolen bases, has been caught 4 times. Throw over to first. Rodriguez nearly airmails it, but McAdoo jumping up, gets some leather on it, knocks it down. Recovers quickly enough that Cairo's not going anywhere. Tied at 7. Bottom of the 6th. Series also tied at 2 apiece. First pitch from Rodriguez to Kemp. Otto gets a swing off, grounds it to the backstop. Outfield straight away, especially Shrek in left is 10 steps in front of the warning track. He is deep. 0-1. Kemp reaching for it, pops it up. Shallow right, coming into Rana, gets the spot, he's under it, and he makes the catch. And the inning over. Pigs get a 2-out single from Cairo, but leave him at first. We go to the 7th. Tied at 7. Here in the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. Top of the 7th, with IronPigs and Bisons still tied at 7 apiece. Sam Jelinek with you here from the Cyan Sky broadcast booth. Alan Ronhell, 2 innings out of the bullpen today as he works in bulk relief. Likely the scenario that he'll be going back up to the Phillies with at some point later this season, should he be needed. Scratched from what would have been his start today, and we assumed that meant he wasn't going to pitch at all, but unless it's an apparition of Alan Ronhell, here he is before my very own eyes. Great deal to Josh Kazovich, winds and fires the pitch to Kazovich, a line drive left center. That's down for a base hit. Cut off in the alley by Baroa. He'll backhand it, throw it into second. Hold Kazovich to a base hit. Leadoff man aboard for the Bison. Second straight inning they've done that. Kazovich just going down, getting that slider, clean base hit. He's got 2 hits today. Now this is where things get dicey for Ron Hell, as he tends to have some trouble holding on runners. Kasevich a short lead at first. Ron Hell quick to the plate. Fastball misses off the outside corner. Ball one. Kasevich is just 2 for 3 stealing bases this season, although he does have one this week. McAdoo 0 for 2 today with a walk. Ron Hell a throw over to first, and back with a dive is Kasevich. Middle infield at double play depth. Outfield straight away on McAdoo, who was scorching hot to begin the week, but hitless last night, hitless so far tonight. 1-0 pitch. McAdoo takes a fastball below the kneecaps. Ball 2. The next question will be how long Ron Hell stays in this game, if this truly is his to finish out. If it's just going to be kind of a 4-inning kind of outing, just keep him kind of stretched out a little bit. 2-0 pitch. McAdoo swings, lifts it down the right field line, slicing towards the corner. It's a foul ball. Oh, man, off the bat, that looked like trouble. But McAdoo just far enough off the end of the bat, and that ball kept on slicing. And instead of settling down to the chalk, hits off the sidewall. Ron Hell, first base side of the rubber, has his sign. Thumbs up to a crossfire set. Hands at the letters. Another throw over. Kasevich gets back. For Ron Hell, the process of holding runners has been a couple years long journey. Remember last year dealing with some balks at times. 2-1. Change up at the knees, inside corner. 2-2. Not coming set before coming home, working too quickly. He's been dinged a number of times for failing to make eye contact with the hitter. It's a ball charged to him for that. 2-2. McAdoo chops it foul. Third base side, out ahead of a curveball there. That's a thing that a lot of people end up misunderstanding is, the running game is not solely on the shoulders of the catcher. 2-2. McAdoo swings and misses. Got him with a fastball down low. Third strikeout of the game for Ron Hell. It's also interesting seeing that Ron Hell has been working more of that fastball down in the zone. Last year, he was a very consistent starter for the Pigs, but a main problem for him was that he gave up the franchise record in homers. Ended up last year giving up 29 long balls. A lot of that was because he pitched up in the zone with his fastball. That's where it plays the best. Here's R.J. Schreck. First pitch. Schreck swings and golfs it high in the air, deep right center. Mercado going back to the track at the wall. The long ball bites Ron Hell again. R.J. Schreck goes deep. Yet another long ball for R.J. Schreck this week. Drives in 2 more. And the Bisons take the lead back 9-7 here in the top of the 7th. Not at all too terrible pitch by Ron Hell. A change up, down, and away, but man, Schreck was sitting on it. He clobbered it. 104 off the bat. It's his 5th of the season. He's now driven in 12 runs this week. Most RBIs in the International League. So the Pigs, who battled all the way back from 6-0 down to take a 7-6 lead, now trail 9-7. First pitch to Riley Terada. This is outside. Nobody up in the Bisons bullpen. 1-0 pitch. Slider on the outside corner, 1-1. So it will be Yariel Rodriguez to pitch the bottom of the 7th. Pigs will have to do it against the best bullpen in the International League by ERA here. So far this week, the Bisons pen outside of Tuesday, which ended up really happening because of unearned runs. Ron Hell rips off a slow curveball the inside corner, 1-2. Bisons bullpen has lived up to the billing. 1-2 on Riley Terada. Hit a 3-run homer earlier tonight, and he whiffs on the fastball there, down on strikes. As Ron Hell comes back from the 2-run homer to strike out Terada for the second out here of the 7th. Fourth strikeout of the game for Alan Runhell. 2 outs, bases empty for Josh Rivera, who has also homered. It's the first homer that Runhell gave up last inning. First pitch heater up and away to him. 1 ball, no strikes. Solo homer on a changeup left in over the plate. Right-handed hitter, Runhell wind up. Ball 1 pitch. Rivera, mighty swing, fouls it back. One. Change up or slider rather from Runhell down and away. Gets the bottom of the zone and swear it looked like Rivera was going to challenge again, but Bisons have been out of challenges since very early on tonight. 1-2. Slider off the plate. Rivera will not chase. 2-2. 7-6 or 9-7 Bisons, beg your pardon, here in the top of the 7th. 2-run homer for R.J. Schreck, giving them the lead. 2-2. Rivera gets under it. Mile-high pop-up down the first base line. Foul territory. Keyboom settles under it, makes the catch and foul ground to end the inning. But the damage done. R.J. Schreck, now 12 RBIs in the week. It's a 2-run homer to put the Bisons back in front. We go bottom 7. It's 9-7 Buffalo here in the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Bisons, they're finally making it happen at Ashley's Spring Savings Event. Discover mattresses for every type of sleeper with no interest for 5 years when you buy in store. That's top setting brands starting at only $37 a month. And you can elevate your sleep for less. With Ashley's Sleep Adjustable Base Sets, now $600 off. The sleep you've been dreaming of is finally within reach. Make it happen today at Ashley's Spring Savings Event. Shop more spring mattress deals in-store or at ashley.com.
This is the Jason Smith Show.
Check this out.
With Mike Harmon.
We lost an absolute legend, John Sterling, former play-by-play man for the New York Yankees. One of the last of the I don't know if we're ever going to have a play-by-play guy. Like John Sterling. We have great play-by-play guys. So synonymous. One is talent. How much fun it was. Whether it was making up a home run call for Judge or Jim Connell Stanton. Really something to watch and listen to. The thing about Sterling, and I love listening to him as a ball because it's so entertaining. I still feel bad for it that the final game he called was Aaron Judge. Yeah, that happens.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon, weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
You're listening to IronPigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM, 12:30 a.m., and streaming at OBFoxSports.com.
Bottom of the 7th. Hope you got a good stretch in. IronPigs trail the Bisons again, 9-7. It was early that they trailed 2-0. They trailed 6-0 after 2.5. Battled back for a 7-6 lead. And, well, on the ropes again here. First pitch slider to Carter Keyboom. He checks his swing. Appeal to first, though, and Charlie Welling says he wins. 0-1. Keyboom, De La Cruz, Peguero do up here against Yariel Rodriguez. Through a scoreless 6, 2 strikeouts and a base hit. First base side of the rubber. Stretches and deals. Keyboom, full swing this time. Still comes up empty. 0-2. Bisons, 9 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors, while the Pigs, 7 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Outfield, especially in center, Munguia, a step or two the other way towards the right center out. 0-2. Splitter falls off the table. Keyboom able to lay off of that. 1-2. 1-2 on the way from Yariel Rodriguez. Keyboom takes another splitter down out of the zone. We've seen Rodriguez strike some guys out with that splitter, but also use it to set up, going back to a fastball up. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Inside. And Keyboom jumps out of the way of it. Slider backed up, almost hit him on the hands. Rodriguez threw earlier this week, back on Wednesday. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 2 walks. Payoff pitch. Keyboom fights it off. Slider popped back behind home. Able to spoil it. For Rodriguez, it's a splitter, slider, four-seamer. Also does use a sinker every now and again. Sits mid-90s with the fastball. 3-2 again to Keyboom. Carter swings, punches out towards right center field. Munguia tracking after it, able to flag down the slicing fly ball. Retire Keyboom for the first out of the 7th. Munguia just positioned too perfectly there. He's a couple of steps over towards left center. Maybe that baseball falls in there, but fortunately for Keyboom, he's the first out here of the 7th. Brings up Brian De La Cruz. De La Cruz 0-for-2. Strikeout, reached on an error and a walk. Has scored a pair of runs, though. Rodriguez set the belts, kicks the knee to the chest, fires home, and De La Cruz fouls the first pitch back, sends it screaming over our heads. 0-1. Outfield, just like Keyboom, shades De La Cruz the other way here. Infield straight up. Rodriguez a pause into his motion. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball up out of the zone. 0-2. Bisons have a lefty starting to loosen out in the bullpen. Might be Michael Plasmeyer, who was throwing earlier in the game. It looks like it's him. Imagine trying to get Rodriguez to retire the side in order. 0-2. Splitter. Cut on missed. De La Cruz down on strikes. Third strikeout for Rodriguez out of the bullpen. Because Rodriguez, if he sets down the side in order, Caleb Ricketts would begin the 8th. Only lefty in the order for the IronPigs. So Rodriguez, this is probably his final batter with Leover Piguero 2 up. Leover 2 doubles tonight. Doubles machine. Driven in 3 runs plus a walk. Takes the first pitch fastball on the inside corner. 0-1. Bisons lead 9-7. Just took the lead back in the top of the inning. 2-run homer for R.J. Schreck. 0-1 on Leover Piguero. The kick and the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. 0-2. Rodriguez firing BBs here in 7. 2 up, 2 down. Now the 0-2. Piguero. Not pretty looking. Check swing. Fouls it back. Fastball in on his hands. I don't know how he managed to foul that pitch off, let alone not have it take off his knuckles. 0-2 again from Yariel Rodriguez. Piguero takes down and in. Splitter. Had him tempted, but resists the call. 1-2. 1-2 coming. Swing and a miss. Slider off the plate. Rodriguez gets him to chase. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Yariel Rodriguez. Strikes out 4, 2 scoreless innings. Go to the 8th. Bisons up 9-7 over the Pigs here on the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
That's not going to convince anyone. Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar. Some people were excited to hear this. Some were skeptical. No one is going to convince you that Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste, because the only thing that people get that is trying it yourself. No lasers. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Scoreboard update presented by Ashley. The Phillies with a bow on a 9-3 win tonight over the Colorado Rockies. Here in the International League, Jacksonville holds a 6-5 lead over Charlotte, top 9 there. Gwinnett is pulled away further against Norfolk. They're up 11-3, heading to the 9th as well. Durham trailing Round Rock 5-3, top 8 in that one.
Back and forth go Nashville and Louisville. The Louisville holds a 9-8 lead in the top of the 7th. Back into the Twinville, Indianapolis up 1-0 over Omaha, top 2. 10:05 tonight, still to come. St. Paul meeting Las Vegas. Finals from earlier today. Rochester beat Syracuse 7-4. Iowa cruising by Columbus 13-6. All Toledo as they won 13-6 over Memphis. Indianapolis from the front end of the doubleheader 2-1 in 2 extra innings in 9 played. Worcester's Great Wilkes-Barre postponed due to rain. Let's see if the Pigs can find a comeback late in this laborious game in the Lehigh Valley. They trail 9-7, go top 8. Back over to Sam Jelnick.
Thank you, Jack. Like you said, top of 8, Iron Pigs trail the Bisons 9-7. Buffalo getting a 2-run homer from R.J. Schreck in the top of the 7th. Take the lead. Mendoza, Simonite, and Munguia do up here against Alan Ronhell. 8-9-1 for Buffalo. Mendoza, 1 for 2 today. Bases loaded walk in the 2nd, a double off Ronhell back in the 6th. Swings in the first pitch here, hits a high hopper back in the bag at first. Keyboom gloves, takes it to the bag, retires Mendoza. 1 pitch and 1 out for Ronhell. Ronhell now 3 1/3 innings out of the bullpen, just shy of 60 pitches at this point. Could use a clean inning. He hasn't had one since taking over. Put up a 0 in the 5th, gave up the solo homer in the 6th. First pitch to William Simonite is a strike, 0-1, and then the 2-run homer in the 7th. So 2 homers allowed today for Ronhell. It's the 2nd time this year he's given up 2 long balls and 1 outing. 0-1, slider off the plate, 1-1. Mentioned it earlier that the long balls is the the sticking point for Ronhell, whether or not he can kind of reach new heights. 1-1. Simonite drives it down the right field line, but slicing towards the crowd. They'll find a happy fan's lap. 1-2. Ultimately, for Ronhell to keep that home run rate down will, dictate how much success he can have. For the 1-2, Simonite calls time as home plate umpire Steven Jashinsky actually steps out and pats Simonite on the back arm. 1-2. Change it up down the dirt. 2-2. Two and 2 on Simonite. Ronhell to the plate. Swing and a miss. Change up just stops midway to the plate. Simonite starts the swing. Change up speeds up again. Simonite caught a whiff and 2 outs. Change-ups are, to me, one of the most aesthetically pleasing pitches. And part of the thing that I love about the change-up is that so often compared to other pitches, there's a personal element to it. First pitch looping curveballs on the outside corner to Munguia, 0-1, because it's such a feel pitch, having to find that grip over time. Guys kind of develop it on their own. 0-1, slow breaking ball is lined out towards left center. It's down for a hit up the alley. Left fielder Kemp cuts it off. Munguia's trying for 2. The throw from Kemp is just a whisker late. So it's a double for Munguia. Ronhell trying to double down on that looping curveball. And Munguia waits it out, lines it out to left center. He is in scoring position, and now Jonathan Clausse, who Ronhell struck out back in the 6th, comes up here with a man in scoring position in the 8th. Switch hitter batting left, Munguia at 2nd, Ronhell the stretch, first pitch, fastball chisels, the outside black, 0-1. Oh, 1. Slider misses from Ronhell, down and away. Ronhell looked back to 2nd. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Clausse out in front of the changeup. 1-2. 9-7 Bisons. 9 runs now, 10 hits, 2 outs, or 2 errors. 7 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Pigs with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. 1-2 on Jonathan Clausse with Munguia at 2nd. 1-2 coming off the hands. Clase fights it back up and into the sweets. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Changeup falls off the plate. Clase waves away at it. Ron Hell with his 7th strikeout out of the bullpen. And he's able to strand a man out at second. We go bottom 8. Pigs trying to rally. Trail 9-7 here on the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
From the Easton Honda Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio. Call Acura. Easton Honda, 2 trusted names, 1 goal, 5-star customer service.
This is what we need to finally make it happen at Ashley Spring Savings Event. Discover mattresses for every type of sleeper with no interest for 5 years when you buy in store. That's top heavy rent starting at only $37 a month. And you can elevate your sleep for less. With Ashley Spring adjustable base set, that's $600 off. The sleep you've been dreaming of is finally within reach. Make it happen today at Ashley Spring Savings Event. Shop more spring mattress deals in store or at ashley.com.
Really takes on sports. Why? Because I have a job to do with rapid fire takes. So I want to hear from you. Lava pigs. You have no idea what you're talking about. You complain more than you like to breathe air. It's like you get up in the morning, told me to complain. So if you're well, you don't even understand these sports.
Bottom of the 8th, outs becoming scarce here for the Pigs. They trail the Bisons 9-7. Pitching change for the Bisons brought to you by Lehigh Valley Chimney Specialists, keeping the valley safe, 1 chimney at a time. Michael Platzmeyer takes over for Yariel Rodriguez, who leaves in line for the win. Rodriguez, 2 scoreless, only 1 hit, no walks, 4 strikeouts. He was sharp out of the bullpen. Platzmeyer will have 7, 8, and 9 due up as he earned the win back on Wednesday with an inning and 2/3, allowing 1 run, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, did not allow a hit. The lefty delivers home to Ricketts, left-handed batter. The first pitch cutter is at the bottom of the zone, 0-1. Ricketts 0 for 3 today. Goes left on left against Platzmeyer here. Platzmeyer, the former Iron Pig and Philly. 6'2", 197-pound lefty, stretches and deals. And Ricketts off the end of the bat, squibber out in front of the plate, barehanded by the catcher Simonite. Easy throw over to first, gets Ricketts, 1 out. Brings up Oscar Mercado, who briefly gave the Pigs the lead back in the 5th inning with a 2-run single. Pigs, who trailed 6-0, scored 7 unanswered. The Bisons tied it up right away in the 6th with a solo homer and took the lead with a 2-run shot in the 7th. Mercado 1 for 3 today as that hit snapped a 0 for 19 streak. Takes the pitch down the dirt. Sergio Alcantara on deck. Pigs trying to get the tying run to the plate here. 1-0 coming. Oscar swings, chops it left side towards third. To his left, Kasevich flags it down, throws low to first, but it's scooped by McAdoo. And Mercado retired, 2 outs. So 2 quick ground ball outs for Platzmeyer. When Platzmeyer was with the Phillies and the Iron Pigs, he was still a starting pitcher for the past couple of years. Really this year now, moving primarily into the bullpen. So AAA Round Rock last year, over 100 innings for him. 28 appearances, 16 starts. This year, everything except for 1 open out of the bullpen. Pitch to Alcantara is cut on and missed. 0-1. Sergio out of the 9 spot, 0 for 2 today with a walk. Switch hitter batting right. Plasmeyer set to the belt. Kicks the leg. 0-1. And changeup is down and in on him. One ball, one strike. Plasmeyer fires home, and Alcantara rolls over a ground ball to third. Room service hot for Kasevich. Sets the feet, throws across, on target and on time to get Alcantara. And the Pigs down silently in the 8th on 3 ground ball outs. Go to the 9th. 9-7 Bisons here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Resources for their products. I live in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, and I'm quite
Hi, IronPigs fans. I work in hydrogen. The Lehigh Valley Pick up, drive, and delivery. You can even place orders.
Especially your range, but also your source. Because all the different appliances you can use straightforward fixed-rate plans from IGS Energy. You can also come with your mind. It's why we're trusted by thousands of households across the U.S. Official energy provider of your Lehigh Valley IronPigs. Explore your energy choices at IGS.com.
Top of the 9th, IronPigs trail by 2. We'll try to keep it that way here as Alan Ronhell back out to the mounds. As he has gone 4 innings so far. He's given up 3 runs, but he's on the hook for what would potentially be his 4th consecutive loss. Josh Kasevich leads it off for the Bisons. Ronhell's first pitch. Kasevich fouls it back. Kasevich, McAdoo, and Shrek due up. Genesis Cabrera, I had seen him starting to fiddle around in the bullpen. He's not throwing anymore, while Tanner Andrews is up for the Bisons to close it out in the bottom of the 9th. Ronhell winds, 0-1. Kasevich takes, changeup down and away. I would have assumed Cabrera would be ready to go for R.J. Shrek, due up 3rd this inning. Shrek 2 hits today off of Allen. 1-1. Curveball floats in on the outside corner. 1-2. Ronhell, 4 innings, has given up 3 runs, 6 hits, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. One and 2 on Kasevich, most strikeouts this season for Allen. 1-2. Kasevich laid on it, lines it down the right field side off the protective netting. It'll careen back to shallow rights. Force Oscar Mercado to clean that up. One, two again. Kasevich, a hard ground ball up the middle and into center for a base hit. So Kasevich, second straight AB with a base hit off of Ronhell. Singles here to begin the 9th. Just like he did to begin the 7th. Brings up Charles McAdoo. McAdoo, one of the 7 strikeouts so far tonight by Ronhell. Still no movement in the Pigs bullpen, so this is Ronhell's 9th inning to do as he pleases. Now at 71 pitches. Delivers home to McAdoo. Slider down and away. Can't get him to bite. Series concludes tomorrow. The Pigs want a chance at the series win. Got to rally tonight. Otherwise, they will have to scalp a win tomorrow in order to get a series split. 1-0. McAdoo fouls it off the mask of Ricketts, and man, the sound of that was nasty. Home umpire Steven Jashinsky will walk the ball out to the mound to give Ricketts a moment or two here, and man, McAdoo rang his bell. That is just straight under the eye bar, and man, that knocked Ricketts over. Would have been punching him right in the teeth. It's ready to go again. 1-1 on McAdoo. Kasevich at first. Ron held the pitch, and McAdoo a ground ball to short. Taylor made double play, ball to second. 1 over to first. That's a 6-4-3 double play. Alcantara and Peguero spin it. Alcantara down to a knee to glove. Feeds Peguero. Plenty of time to get McAdoo. 2 outs. Alcantara even had a little bit of trouble getting the ball out of his glove, but good feed to Peguero. 2 outs. Brings up RJ Schreck, and chance for redemption for Ron Held to end his night. Schreck 3 for 4. It's been scorching hot this week, and right now has the game winner. Swings the first pitch, and it's a rifle foul out towards the parking lot. 0-1. Schreck 2-run homers last time up as he golfed a changeup out to right. His 5th homer of the season. 0-1. Takes a curveball down low. So he came into the series hitting under 200. He's now at 217. OPS at 777. Ball and a strike. Ron Hell, the rock to the plate. Curveball off the plate. Schreck watching it the whole way in. Infield plays him to pull. Outfield a couple steps back. And time called by Schreck. 9-7 Bisons, top of the 9th. Pigs 7 unanswered, took a 7-6 lead. Bisons have answered back. 2-1. Schreck checks the swing. Slider at the knees. 2-2. Bisons with homers in the 6th and 7th. Leaded by a pair. On Hill, Denver's 8th strikeout to end his night. The 2-2. Schreck a line drive right field side. That's down for another hit. Towards the corner, sliding Mercado cuts it off. Schreck around first. He's trying for 2. The throw is late. RJ Schreck a hustle double for his 4th hit of the game. Again, it was the changeup. Schreck just sat on it. It was off the plate. And was still able to hook it into right. Hell didn't get it down. Man in scoring position, 2 outs for Riley Tirada. And I don't know if the Pigs can throw another strike to RJ Schreck the rest of the series. Runner at second, 2 outs. The pitch to Tirada. He swings and stings it on a line. Deep center, backing up Baroa. Didn't see it for a moment, but ends up retreating quickly in time to retire Tirada and end the inning. So takes Ron Hell just one more pitch, but he gets out of the 9th with Schreck left out at second. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Pigs need 2 to tie, 3 to win it. It's 9-7 Buffalo here at the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
$600 off. Make it happen today at Ashley Spring Savings Event. Shop more on back.
Sports Radio. Sports Radio 94.7 FM, 12:30 a.m. Streaming at LMBFoxSports.com.
Last chance time for the Iron Pigs. Trail the Bisons 9-7. Tanner Andrews will try to close down for the Bisons. He's 2 for 2 in save chances this year. He has been stellar. 2-0 with a 1.88 ERA, 14 in the third inning, 17 strikeouts, and 10 walks. Pigs will send the best they got after him. Top of the order is due up. Baroa, Cairo, and Kemp. Pigs with 2 walk-off wins this season. Kate Fergus against Toledo, and Caleb Ricketts a walk-off homer against Durham. Andrews takes over for Michael Plasmeyer, who threw a 1-2-3-8. Stuart Baroa leading it off, 0 for 2 today, 2 walks. Andrews, third base side of the rubber, goes from a full windup, kicks the leg, his first pitch. Fastball at 92, up and out of the zone. Andrews, his second appearance of the week, 1-0 coming. Fastball high, threw it back on Tuesday. 1 scoreless inning, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Just falling behind on Baroa. 2 balls, no strikes. Here it comes. Fastball just down and away, and now it's automatic take mode for Baroa. Infield plays him to pull. Kasevich tight to the bag at third, also guarding the line while in. 3-0 on Baroa. Andrews the rock. The pitch. Fastball up high. Ball 4, and Andrews not missing by much, but by enough. 4 straight out of the zone. He walks Baroa to begin the inning. The Pigs will have a couple cracks at this with a tying run at the plate. Christian Cairo, Baroa at first. 1 for 3 today with a base hit. Christian 2 homers this year. Middle infield back at double play depth. Kasevich in guarding the bunt. The pitch. Cairo swinging away, and he fouls the slider off. Looking at StatCast, would that pitch have been a strike? Yeah, it would have. And then after seeing Baroa take 4 straight out of the zone, it's still surprising to see Cairo swinging away there. Baroa held on by McAdoo. Andrews crossfire set, the 0-1. Cairo swings, slices it down the right field line towards the corner. Tirada shaded over that way, is able to get towards the sidewall and make the catch. Man, perfect positioning by Riley Tirada in right to retire Cairo for the first out of the 9th. Off the bat, you thought that was going to be trouble, but man, Tirada got over there with plenty of time. Brings up Otto Kemp, somewhere 3 times this week. Hitless today, 0 for 4. Baroa at first, 9-7 Bisons, bottom of the 9th. Andrews, third base side, kicks the leg, his pitch. Slider is down the middle, 0-1. Pigs have not homered today, while the Bisons have hit a trio of them. Baroa at first, 0-1. Down to the dirt, skips off Simonite to the backstop, and Baroa will advance to second. Takes a mighty hard turn, but still edging off the bag. He's going to force Simonite to either call time or put the baseball out towards second. Finally calls time, and Baroa back to second. Stuart Baroa's always got something up his sleeve. So a wild pitch takes the double play out of the question here. Kemp with the count even 1-1, and now time is trying to be called by RJ Schreck out and left, but nobody sees him. Andrews delivers home. Kemp swings and grounds it to the backstop. And don't know what he is gesturing towards and left, but kind of seemed like maybe someone was in the field of play. I don't know. It's 1-2 on Otto Kemp. 9-7 Bisons, bottom of the 9th. Baroa at second. Andrews, tall righty. One more look, now the pitch. Slider started off the plate, ends up outside. 2-2. Andrews, 30 years old, 6'3", 220-pound righty. Originally a 10th round pick of the Marlins, but fell out of favor, went to Indy Ball, and then picked up out of Indy Ball last year. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Chase the slider off the plate. Actually, the splitter that time. Kemp down on strikes, and the Pigs' final hope is Carter Kibu. Kibu 1 for 3 today. Walked and scored in the 5th, singled and scored in the 3rd. He's got 2 homers this year, went deep last week in Syracuse. It's the tying run of the plate. Baroa at second. The first pitch. Slider carves the outside corner. 0-1. For Andrews, it's splitter, slider, fastball. Fastball low 90s, slider mid 80s. 0-1 on Keyboom. Strike 1 pitch. Slider inside corner. Called a strike. Keyboom's going to challenge. Pigs have both of theirs remaining, so you might as well use them here. Upon review, call of the field is confirmed. So Keyboom still, despite losing the challenge, still has 1 left. Can't bring him back home with you, so go ahead, use it now. 0-2 on Keyboom. Pigs down to their final strike. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Andrews strikes out Keyboom. And after issuing the leadoff walk on 4 pitches, sets down the next 3 in a row to end it. And that's the ball game. The final score is the Buffalo Bisons 9 and the Iron Pigs 7. Bisons blow an early 6-0 lead as the Pigs rally for a 7-6 advantage, only to see the Bisons homer twice down the stretch to take the lead and then hold on to it. 9-7, Buffalo wins it, the final. We'll go ahead, take a break, and when we come back, we'll have totals and a recap for you on the Staybird Suites Allentown Bethlehem Airport postgame show here on the Iron Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
This summer, we're going to Miami baseball to Major Fun. Whether you're just stopping by or looking for that Grand Slam getaway, Wyndham rewards everyone. Start earning points on your next qualified by Wyndham hotel stay and Wyndham providing baseball tickets and experiences all summer long. Wyndham Rewards member free at WyndhamRewards.com. Restrictions apply. Visit WyndhamRewards.com for more details.
Thanks for listening to IronPigs Baseball. IronPigs Baseball is brought to you by coca-cola, presenting partner Capital Three Cross, and founding partners Air Products, Service Electric, Lehigh Valley Health Network, a part of Jefferson Health, Ebron, The Morning Call, and WFNC Channel 69 News. Now it's time for the Staybird Suites Allentown Bethlehem Airport postgame show with Sam Jelinek.
Welcome in to Staybird Suites, Allentown Bethlehem Airport postgame show. Sam Jelinek with you here from the Cyan Sky broadcast booth as the Iron Pigs drop this one here on Saturday night. 9-7 the final to the Buffalo Bisons. Pretty good game, pretty entertaining one, as early on looked like the Pigs rounded it, but they rallied, took a lead, but were unable to hold on down the stretch. A lot of chances with runners in scoring position. While the Pigs capitalized on some, they could not capitalize on enough to keep pace with Buffalo and their barrage of long balls here today. Let's get your totals and a recap here real quick before we hand things off to Jack Heim for the rest of your evening. This ball game early was certainly out of hands. For the Pigs, it started off on a weird foot as Alan Ronhell was mysteriously scratched from his start, and Andrew Walling opened instead. Walling was sharp in the first, faltered in the second as he left due to injury, ended up giving up a couple of runs in that second, and then the Bisons tagged 4 off of Lenny Torres in the third to go up 6-0. With the bullpen game looming, it seemed like, oh man, this is going to be a tough one for the Pigs tonight. But Lehigh Valley rallied. 4 runs, all unearned in the bottom of the third, capitalizing on 2 errors by the Bisons, as the Pigs got a 2-run double from Leover Piguero to really spur things along. Fast forward bottom of the 5th, Alan Ronhell has appeared, and instead of being scratched, came in out of the bullpen. After he threw a scoreless top of the 5th, Pigs scored 3 in the bottom half to take the lead. Another RBI double for Leover Piguero, and then a 2-run single for Oscar Mercado gave the Pigs their first lead of the night, 7-6, but it was short-lived. Josh Rivera homering to open the 6th, and then a 2-run shot for R.J. Schreck in the 7th gave the Bisons the lead, which they would not concede as down the stretch. The Iron Pigs, well, didn't really have much going for them. They got the tying run to the plate in the 9th, but otherwise, the Bisons bullpen, Rodriguez, Plasmeyer, and Andrews were nearly perfect, allowing just 2 base runners in the final 4 innings of work. Final score in this one's the Bisons 9 and the Iron Pigs 7. Final line score, Bisons 9 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors, they leave 6 on base. For the Pigs, 7 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, they leave 6 on base. The winning pitcher is Yariel Rodriguez for the Bisons. He's 1-0. He throws 2 scoreless. The loser, Alvin Rodhill, that's his 4th consecutive loss. He's now 2-4 on the season. 5 innings, gives up 3 runs, but strikes out a season-high 7. Save goes to Tanner Andrews, works around a leadoff walk in the 9th for a scoreless inning to close it. We started at 6:38, finished at 9:38, time of game 3 hours on the dot, in front of 8,525 here on Saturday night at Coca-Cola Park. With the loss, the Pigs back to 500 at 19-19 now on the season, 12-8 here at home, while the Bisons improved to 18-20, now 10-13 on the road, and they hold the series edge 3-2 going into the finale tomorrow. We'll have that finale tomorrow, 1:15 first pitch, which means a 12:45 airtime for the pregame show. Rematch, or rather not a rematch, but a rehash for Bryce Wilson to start for the Pigs on Sunday. He threw 5 scoreless on Tuesday. Bryce 2-3 with a 7.90 ERA. He'll be opposed by Josh Fleming for the Bisons. Fleming 0-2 with a 2.66 ERA. First pitch 1:15. Pre-game show at 12:45. That'll be the next time that I talk to you. So that'll about do it for my portion of the broadcast here this evening. As always, big thanks from me to you for making us a part of your Saturday nights. Big thanks to Jack Heim back in the studios, keeping me company along for the ride for this one. Big thanks to our partners here who make Iron Pigs baseball possible. Our naming rights partner, Coca-Cola, presenting partner, Capital Blue Cross, and founding partners, Air Products, Service Electric, Lehigh Valley Health Network, a part of Jefferson Health, B-Bron, The Morning Call, and WFMZ Channel 69 News. Series finale tomorrow, next time that I'll talk to you. So until then, I've been Sam Jelinek. As always, a big thanks from me to you for listening. Thanks so much for making us a part of your Saturday night. Jack Heim has you the rest of the way here in the Saberhood Suites, Allentown Pathfinder Airport postgame show here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
If you are looking for retirement,
well, tough one.
Includes all
Yeah, that it was. Good fight, battling back. Just not enough in the tank to finish it.
Yeah. Well, till tomorrow.